Blessed good afternoon, brothers and sisters, family and friends. Blessed good afternoon. As you come up, I just want to encourage, I want to start with apologizing, folks. I apologize for being late, but brothers and sisters, I went out today and only I bounced up a story. I ended up in a conversation and then it had rain. So with the rain here now, it cost me a little while to get home because all you know I still on my P2. Right? So I nearly finished with my van where I will be moving a little more freely, a little more comfortably. But I was out and about today. And while I was in Point 14, somebody asked me a question. They say, Irvin, wait. All they telling me CPF shut down. All they feel we blind now. Because again, ladies and gentlemen, brothers, matter of fact, let me say my prayers before I get into this conversation. So as you come up, I say blessed good afternoon. I say blessed good afternoon to Trinidad and Tobago, the Caribbean, the world in extension. But ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, all we have to speak today. Because how people speak, but I don't know now, but we have to talk today because it's the perception and the angle of how people speak. They speak like they're sure they know exactly what is going on. And my response, but thank God the conversation came to me. Because when I went to find out exactly what is going on, only because the relevant information, it is encouraging. So I had no choice but to make a video while I was there speaking to the persons, hoping that the relevant authority bite at it. Again, ladies and gentlemen, April 28, we made a decision. And we support Ms. Kamala Persad-Bissessa, we support the UNC and the coalition. But everybody know, right now we are talking politics, we're talking representation. And we know the conversation coming from CPEP, we could discuss the traffic wardens, we could discuss different sectors. My problem in Point 14, especially part of my problem is that our employment structure tend to be controlled by outside personnel, and we reach to the point right now where we have local representative, local contractors, local businessmen, local businesswomen who has been there and there has always been there. I myself work for a couple of them. So my responsibility, ladies and gentlemen, is to encourage you, whether you're in Penal, you're in Princestown, you could be in Moruga, you're down Silots, wherever you are, don't let nobody encourage you to not to utilize your local contractor, utilize your local personnel, because what I'm bringing to you here today is a piece of information, and I hope other contractors around Trinidad and Tobago utilize this piece of information. They're going to hear what it is I'm going to play. On top of that, ladies and gentlemen, after this afternoon's program, I'm going to put the video out for you to actually see the interaction with me and the young man, because again, when the classmate point, they say, even only talking as a talk, UNC corrupt upside down, nobody in business, nobody in care. Because what we seeing people cutting grass down on the beach is the same CPEP workers. All they feel all they're smart, all they're doing what it is, all they want. So when I hear that now, my responsibility, I have to go up the road and find out what's going on the beach. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. Today we're going to discuss a little bit about, because you notice Marvin Gonzalez apparently end up on some Tobago program. So we ain't going to dwell on what it is he talking about, but it is very, very sad to know that you're in the public domain having all these conversations and cannot explain to the people of Trinidad and Tobago exactly what took place in CPEP, exactly what took place with after borrowing over $144 billion. And brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, my responsibility is to remind you, we are different sectors, different ethnicities in Trinidad and Tobago, and collectively, each and every one of us come together to play a part. Again, I'm organizing the media man. I'm the media man. So this is what we're doing here. You the viewer, you the listener, I continue to thank you very much for being a part of the program. I thank you very much for being a part of 648 Television. All right, look my cousin there. Blessed good afternoon, Eason. You are live on 648 Television. Blessed afternoon, sir.
It's not Felix.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm your cousin and he's shy. What's going on, man?
No, I said no going on. They call it separate your program, sir.
Yes, man. Yes, so, I'll call you back after.
Yeah, I can't talk to you in a program. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
No coming.
So I'm a cousin there. So and he's shy. So I catch him today. But either way, we thanking God for Jesus. We thanking God for all stable-minded Trinbagonian citizens. I must say a blessed good afternoon to our brothers and sisters that is up. I seen TK up. I seen who is that Clive up. I seen Pundit up. I seen Daniel up. I seen Suklal up. Again, blessed good afternoon to every one of our brothers and sisters as you come up and as you comment. I want to wish you a blessed good afternoon wherever you are, whether you're in Cedros, whether you're in Piaco, you could be in Penal Debe, you could be in Shogunas, the East-West Corridor, Edinburgh 500, whether you're down in Point 14, in Rosilak, in Dow, you're up there in Golconda, wherever you are. You could even be in Toronto, you could even be in England, you could be in Amsterdam, wherever you are this afternoon, sending out much love, much love, much love. Go cool, blessed afternoon to you. And as you come up, ladies and gentlemen, let me talk a little bit. Let me talk a little bit because as you look throughout Trinidad and Tobago, you're listening, we have budget consultations going on. What it is I understand from the budget consultation is that our governing authority found a structure where they can incorporate the citizens, the voices of the people of Trinidad and Tobago into their governance. Again, ladies and gentlemen, the voice of the people is the voice of God. But before we move forward, let me say a word of prayer. Heavenly Father, is your son Irvin. Lord, we want to give you all the praise, all the honor, and all the glory. Father, I lift up each and every one of our brothers and sisters representing here this afternoon. Father, cover their homes, cover their businesses, cover their apartments. Father, cover their going outs and cover their coming in. Father, we lift up every shortcomings in their spaces and we ask that you take charge. Lord, we say a special prayer for Trinidad and Tobago. We put our honorable Prime Minister in your hand. We put each and every representing factor in our governing authority in your hand, Father, and we ask that you just take charge. You encamp your angels around them, encamp your angels around their offices, around their businesses, around their families, around their relationships, Father, every single decision that they make. Father, I pray that it continue to be for your people. So, Father, you cover our Prime Minister, cover our Minister here in Point 14, Mr. Ernesto Raymond Kiza. Father, you cover each and every councillor, every alderman. And Lord, we ask that you cover the citizens of our nation. Father, we pray that minds and hearts actually soften. Father, we pray that those who find themselves on the negative path, Father, you do a thing in their life. Father, your words say weeping may endure for the night, but joy comes in the morning. So this afternoon, Lord, we just want to ask that you bless our nation. You take charge of each and every community. Take charge of each and every tongue. Take charge of each and every person, every household. Father, we pray for every marriage this afternoon. We pray for every relationship this afternoon. We pray for every young man and every young woman this afternoon. We lift up our entire education sector in Trinidad and Tobago, Lord, and we ask that you just have your way. We put every single thing in your hands, and we say, Lord, have your way. So, Father, as we discuss going forward in this conversation, Father, I ask that you cover our conversation. If something is misunderstood, Lord, I pray that you make brothers and sisters feel confident enough to call in or text in. But, Father, I say that you cover this program, cover each and every stable-minded person in Trinidad and Tobago, in the Caribbean, and in the world in extension. Father, you cover us. Lord, we say a special prayer for all nations that are at war today. Whatever the circumstances, Father, you change the outcome. Lord, we want to thank you. We give you all the praise, all the honor, and all the glory. And I say a special prayer for each and every one of the 648 viewers, our listeners, our supporters, those who like and who share. Father, I pray that you bless them. You continue to use them as instruments in your house. Bless their families, Lord. Father, we pray for safety. We pray for covering for them. And Lord, we thank you in no other name but Jesus' name. Amen and amen. And amen. Blessed good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Who we seeing up here? Vincent, we seen Tara, blessed afternoon. I seen Jones, Gopi, blessed good afternoon. Clive, blessed good afternoon. Robert Young, blessed afternoon. I seen Gokul, blessed afternoon. And as you come up, ladies and gentlemen, we just want to continue to wish you a blessed good afternoon. But before I get into this conversation, I had to run this song for you. Because apparently people like the former utility minister, who is a former acting attorney general, a former whatever it is, national security minister. My responsibility is to explain to brothers and sisters, those who still fight in politics, because we know the former administration found themselves in the losing end, and based on the content, based on the information, the responsibility of our ministers, of our MPs, is to go and weed out the problem. So today we find CPEP at a pause. Today we find URP basically at a pause. Ladies and gentlemen, we found a lot of different sectors, a lot of different things in Trinidad and Tobago at a pause. Why? Because our representative, when they look at what they're seeing, The question is, no, an audit must be done. So we must do an audit before we actually move forward. We must bring clarity to the people of Trinidad and Tobago. Yes, the conversation might be troubling. Yes, you mightn't like who bring in the information. But to study who bring in the information is the information. So my responsibility to the opposition leader of Trinidad and Tobago and her group. I have a song here that I believe that you needs to hear. So I want to say a blessed good afternoon to YouTube. I say a blessed good afternoon to Facebook. Thank you for continually giving us the opportunity to express ourselves on your platform. But ladies and gentlemen, we tend to pick music that we believe Trinidad and Tobago and the world in extension needs. So let me get going. Sending out some love to the Black Stallion supporters, Black Stallion family, Black Stallion endorsers. We're sending out some love to Trinidad and Tobago. Let's go.
Sufferers don't care who from country. Sufferers don't care who from town.
Sufferers only want to know
where the food coming from.
I need brothers and sisters to listen to these words carefully and let me see if we can understand what's actually taking place.
That's what for all them racists. That's what for the racists. Anytime you bounce up a racist and you hear them running their mouth, it have a whole set of people don't care what they're talking about. A racist is someone living happy and all their family doing well. So race talk is really not for people. It leads to catch hell. Now tell the racist sufferers don't care about color. Sufferers don't care about race. Sufferers don't care who migrate from where or who living in who place. Sufferers don't care who country. Sufferers don't care.
Sufferers don't care. Let's good afternoon, caller.
Bless Brother Felix, I don't understand. Brother Felix, you have a little distortion on your song. Let's have your song check. I call him back to give you a feedback on that.
No problem.
That you will call back.
Thank you much.
Get up early next morning, go down in the tent, yeah.
Only hear this when we come to work, you know. So I understand what you're saying there. So here what's going on here now. Today now we have to have a conversation. Ladies and gentlemen, I found myself early in Point 14 this morning. And while I'm moving through Point 14, somebody ambushed me. Because we have people who just go up on the beach early in the morning. And they say, Felix, you support the UNC. You support Kiza. And only doing what you want in point. You get a song just now. You get a song just now. You only doing what you want in Point 14. UNC win election. And UNC doing what they want. UNC in business. They don't care about nobody. I say, well, better talk to me. What is the situation? If I could address it, if I could deal with it, I deal with it. I have a responsibility to the people at Point 14. I have a responsibility to the people of Trinidad and Tobago. So talk to me. You say, listen to me. Barry Padarat all on the news, busting up his mouth. They investigating CPEP. Felix, I gone up on the beach this morning. Felix, CPEP workers working. I said, well, what do you mean CPEP workers working? He said, I gone up on the beach this morning. It's the same people. The same people who buy, the same people who work in CPEP, I see them working up on Clifton Hill Beach. The UNC government corrupt. They work in who they want to work and they give out contract to who they want to give out contract to. And they didn't tell the people at Trinidad and Tobago, I say, partners, well, here is the situation. To start with, I go deal with this situation. The answer, I go answer you today on today's program. I wouldn't call your name for peace sake because I know all of it, all the PNM thing, we don't know what's going on. So no problem. Right? So ladies and gentlemen, I gone up on the beach. When I reach up on the beach now, my responsibility is to find out when I'm listening to waka in. Driver drop me. I go take it. I pass by the resort, see anybody hail out everybody thing. And I say, let me walk down on the beach here now because they say people cutting grass on the beach and I hear any waka walking. And mind me, enough people meet me in point already and them want to know when the door opening to get CPEP contract. So now I find myself in a position very early this morning because CPEP workers working and what going on in point. So I go up on the beach. And when I go up on the beach, so I say, I pass, I get water. I say, well, right, let me head down the road. Nobody really mentioned nothing. So I go down the road. When I go down the road, I bounce back crew of people. I really know them working CPEP in Point 14. So I call one of the fellas. And ladies and gentlemen, my responsibility is to bring the relevant information to you what I get this morning on the beach. When I done run this, then I go say my thank yous. Because if throughout Trinidad and Tobago, while the government handling its affairs, now the person who contributing to cushion, you can't cover all. So if the rest are contractors who actually active, listen to this piece of conversation, it seems to me like we can help the situation going forward. We want that to encourage the whole country to go and look for grant when they already set the structure up and have about 9 million people, because people on grant list over 8 and 9 years. So the conversation that came from the opposition telling you to go and register for grant, that is basically telling you that by the time you reach by that office, you're going to starve and die. Because they didn't handle the burgesses of Trinidad and Tobago. So we could continue this conversation without playing games. It still have people waiting on rent grant. It still have people waiting on food grant. It still have people waiting on limb grant. It still have people waiting on house grant. Some of the persons that tell break down the house. All are good to go. Because apparently our voting finger, them control it. So them advise people to break down their house before bringing the relevant material, goods and services for the burgesses. You know what, people, I already meet dealing with that, and this is just Point 14, and people calling from outside of Point 14. So it make you wonder, it's like the tail was wagging the dog. But again, the Prime Minister said they're going to fix the problem, but while them dealing with that, let me come down to the ground level, let me come down to community level. And I want to play something for you. So my brother, your conversation is that it has CPEP contract in Point 14 and hello. That is your conversation. My responsibility is to tell you that you could go and talk to the people who was cutting the grass. Because this is what it is I do. Ladies and gentlemen, a blessed good afternoon. Listen to this piece of conversation here.
Afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, family and friends. Blessed good afternoon again. You know, it's your boy Irvin. I must say, blessed good morning, sorry. You know, it's your boy Irvin and Watchmen. All we find ourselves on beautiful, beautiful Clifton Hill Beach. Look at the gorgeous view. But here it is. This is not what I come to highlight. I come to highlight really the road, because now passing me and I say, let me stop because I see some brothers. You can notice that my brother behind my back there. I see some brothers and sisters cutting, so I say, let me stop and ask. So, brother, bless morning, man. Morning time. So, I want to ask you, if you take that back or some kind of thing? No,
what is going on here presently is that Chevrolet, which is the facility for the beach and caretaker, he organizing what they call it his own CPEP to maintain and keep the standard of the beach. So we will come from 6 to 2 and clean and cut to keep, you know, the ambience nice to the families and things to come and enjoy.
All right. Well, let me ask you a question, because you know we're dealing with a whole problem with CPEP. And you know people like to capitalize and thing when they know the people thing and nobody and walking to happen. Yeah. So I want to ask you, what's your mind answer? How much money do you have? What was it in? Where is our command of your female?
Yeah, I am an operator, and we can go from 6 to 2, and travel just to 300 a day. Yeah, for the cottage.
300 a day. Let me ask you a question. You ever work CPEP?
But I was working CPEP and forestry.
What you saying?
I was working CPEP before, and from CPEP to forestry. And so the forestry was from 8 to 12.
Right.
And in that time, when we don't work 3 days, there was one something.
One something for you.
Yeah.
And the same prevalence paying only 300.
Yeah.
All right. So then, obviously, when CPEP start back, because then CPEP normally used to maintain it.
Yeah, CPEP normally used to maintain the beach. But as the program gets disbanded, travelers take the initiative upon themselves to keep this back.
Okay. So we understand prevalence for that. But again, when it comes to the CPEP workers and the salary, you can tell us prevalence paying is 300. So one would like, and I want to ask one time at the same time, you would like to get that people to when CPEP start back?
Of course. Anybody else would like to get no. You see, the thing about the CPEP is was the consistency.
Right.
CPEP don't work on a weekend, was Monday to Friday.
Right.
So well, within that Monday to Friday, sure you have a job, right?
Right.
But you know how the things is in this country right now, things hard.
Yes.
Right? So a dollar could only stretch as far.
As it is.
Now, I is a reasonable person. So I just say one hand to clap. So if it is, you're coming back and you're going to start back the program. As long as we will ask for an increase and we would like an increase, we could always work more hours too.
Right.
So it will be even, it will be just, you know, that kind of way. So if it is, because there's normally start from 6, they work from 6 to 2, 6 to 3, and they raise the money to 2.
Right.
And everything will be everything, you'll get more production.
Right.
Also, work is being done, so it's not a problem.
So we're saying basically that you have no problem doing your job. You love to do your job.
I love to do it.
But when people start back, you would love the opportunity basically for increase. Yes. While we are saying, I want to tell Mr. Traveling something while we are
Traveling, you know, is a very just and fair person, and from the love and the care that we receive from you, from all the people, we would like to thank you for giving us the opportunity to feed our families still in our crisis. Because this country is on that state of emergency, just on our way.
Yeah.
So the times is very hard, but we still provide some kind of opportunity for us to provide for our families. So thank you very much, sir.
Thank you much, big brother. Well, ladies and gentlemen, always do it all yourself. Well, my brother working, so I want my boy to get fired because eventually, you know, Mr. Travales, we have to see it. But again, I want to utilize this opportunity to thank Mr. Travales for being a pillar in Point Portal, for being a contributing factor in Point Portal. And again, ladies and gentlemen, to the governing authority, I hope please listen to the cries of the ground. For these people who saying they have no problem doing the job, no problem getting up early, no problem participating, being a part of the upliftment and beautifying Trinidad and Tobago. But they could do it at the same time. So we hope with the restructuring that could be taken into consideration. We ain't demanding nothing, correct me if I'm wrong?
No, we don't demand. We're asking in a respectable manner, you know, kind of way everything is tongue and teeth must clash, but through reasoning, you must go forward. You must find a way of common ground within big people, and we could go forward together. You know, that kind of way, it's just minor adjustments, and we could go forward because CPEP is one of the pillars of this country.
Yes.
If you know how much people lost the work,
yes.
I have no idea how much thousands of people in Trinidad and Tobago lost the work today because of this disbanding of the CPEP program.
I want to ask you a question while we are on the disbanding because we already know CPEP stuff. And the conversation with it is, when you heard that the former minister, how you felt personally that it tracked back down to the whole contract situation and it have nothing to do with the employees, but the contractor.
Right? I was kind of disappointed to a point, you know, in a country like this, especially the state of the country, the ones that in power, we look for let actually help the poor people. And there's more poor people that really be in this world. Yeah. You know, that kind of way is not the ones that have.
Yeah.
So we're really looking for let us be for us and help us, not against us. And you know that has been hard sometimes, you know, because it's the work that people just look down on that we just get done.
Right.
You know, that kind of way.
True.
Even time, you know, the little respect will go a long way still. Yeah. You know, that kind of way, little gratitude. That is all we ask for.
Lovely. Brother, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yes, again, ladies and gentlemen, Trinidad and Tobago Point.
Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, after the program, you can tune into our You can tune into the YouTube page and you will get to actually see the video, the person who I was speaking to. But to my boy in Point 14 day, before you come up and you make accusations, because these things are serious things, you know. Before you come up and you make accusations, you plant a root and have people believing that CPEP have things going on, and when you do check it out, it's really a private contractor that actually hire the CPEP workers. And watch me. When I went down there and I saw where they're cutting, it's not like they even cutting where the resort is, you know. They're cutting which part the people does literally be. So what it is I see in Point 14 here, I understand that we have some patriots among us. And this is the encouragement that the citizens, I believe, need. This is why I had to cover this morning, because when I listened to the conversation, CPEP functioning, when I went down there, it's really CPEP workers. Now, I don't want to bypass the conversation because it's a good thing. You see where the enemy mean for bad, God does turn it around for good. Because the conversation I have with him now, if you listen to it, when he actually working CPEP, they're working for 140 a day as an operator, as a worker man. And Mr. Trevor Lynch pull him in, understanding the situation, despite Mr. Trevor Lynch could have utilized the opportunity because then they just got a piece of money the other day. So you could have said, well, all right, CPEP workers got a month's salary the other day, so let me give them back the same 140. But listen to the conversation, the young man is saying that he gained $300. So this is double the money and a little more. And that, ladies and gentlemen, in this kind of climate here, but I'm saying that is encouragement, and this sounds to me, and this showing me that the contractors, they're showing the willing when Mr. Trevor Lynch started it. So today, ladies brothers and sisters, it is your responsibility to share that information. Bless good afternoon, brother. So today,
oh, my big brother.
What going on? What going on?
So we're saying the CPEP contractor on that paying the worker cutters and them are giving them one something, and a private contractor giving them $300.
Well, that no, well, what happened? We don't want to say that was underpaying them. I don't know if that was structured in the government. I don't know if that was the pay, but I know they say the operator pay is $140. But Mr. Trevor Lynch down in Point 14 here, see what's going on, because there's a lot of elderly persons on the beach in Point doing their exercising and thing in the morning. And point about vibes that has been suppressed since the last administration. A lot of crimes when you get caught up in corners, even right at the side of the market. If you get caught up there in the wrong hour in the day, in the night, sorry, you're in problems. So Mr. Trevor Lynch see it fit to hire the same CPEP workers to cut the place. And I find that as a real blessing. When I listen to the amount of money, the fellas who tell me that, you know, because before I start a roll, the man tell me, boy, it's Mr. Trevor we down here working for, and he said, boy, Mr. Trevor paid me 300, so I said, but 300 is good money for day work. But if they know, he went on to explain to me that is really 140 he does work for.
As a worker man.
As a worker man.
CPEP, you get entry something from the contractor, Mr. Trevor, but he doing something good down there.
That is what's going on. So what it is I decide to do. Catch what's going on. What it is I decide to do. This is why I come and I play the audio. $300 is justifiable for a day work. So it's we as the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. We know Mr. Barry Padarat, we know Ms. Kamala, we know the government hands tied. But as soon as they get the nearest opportunity, we asking for that type of increase for CPEP.
True.
Yeah.
So you could get better salary to support your family.
Yes.
Because it be real, because them pay them contractor them was eating the benefit and working the men who cutting the grass, holding the blind, who waking up everything, you know.
Yes. Yes.
And I started broken brick contractors about last year, Mr. Felix. It was certain contractor.
Yeah.
I said, I'm going to have revenue.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have revenue this year. I say, yeah, big work here, boy. Right now, I'm not too much to pour one of the best on them. So I start to walk. I walk about 3 days.
Yeah.
You know, I had to wait a whole month to get $900. They mean come and make a thing and that station it was on there. So what do with all that money?
That is the question of the day. That is the question of the year.
Well, yeah. Well, I just up to understand that.
Yeah, big brother, thank you much. And ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to bypass the heights in what we're dealing with, because it are two very serious elements that we're dealing with. $1,500 a week equal to $6,000 a month. Understood. It has some very serious elements that we're dealing with. And one of the elements I don't want to bypass, because this is something that I have spoken about. So just in case the contractors heard when I was saying it, just in case the contractors making moves so that the Burgesses where they live in understand that they exist, and it is up to the Burgesses to have the right conversation for us to endorse. Ladies and gentlemen, I tell you before, Kenson is one of the biggest contractors in Point Fortin right now. Point Fortin have a couple of different football teams. In Point, we play football, we play cricket, we play tennis, basketball, netball. We even have calypso. We even have jar roots. We have tornadoes. We have a whole diaspora of activities that take place in Point Fortin collectively for the year. And I ask the question, because if Kenson is delivering a service that is abnormal from all the services, no problem. No problem. I don't know who is the person came up with the idea. I'm not fighting down Kenson. Full 100 respect, Kenson come from somewhere. But I cannot have Kenson in Point Fortin doing a service. Now listen, we have Mr. Theo Richards in Point Fortin. We even had Demos on the stretch in Point Fortin. We are Hydrotech in Point Fortin, Patrick Gordon and CDAT in Point Fortin, SK. We have a list of contractors that was bypassed and sidelined. And apparently, well, matter of fact, factually, we already know in the former administration, you couldn't come up with an idea. So as much as the former member of parliament excuses that he couldn't talk, that is not our business to cushion that conversation. When I went to vote for you, I didn't vote for Rowley personally. I went to vote for you for representation and the fact that you were given a seat in the parliament and you didn't speak, you didn't endorse, you didn't even stand up for the local contractors where we live in. Brothers and sisters, those days are over. Last night we had the pre-budget consultation with our member of parliament, Mr. Ernesto Raymond Kiza, where the Burgesses came out, the people of Point Fortin, those who have been experiencing it, those who have been living in it, came out and gave their contribution about the shortcomings, things that they would like to see. A lot of people spoke on education. A lot of people spoke on infrastructure. A lot of people spoke on, ladies and gentlemen, jobs, poor roads, the industry on the whole, wanting to be a part of, wanting Point Fortin to be a part of the industry. So they know, you see, with people in Point Fortin, because I've seen it taking place throughout Trinidad and Tobago. So I want to say a thank you very much to all the districts, and all the persons who stood up in all of these, ladies and gentlemen, conversations with the governing authority when it comes to consultation, when it comes to having the conversation about the development of Trinidad and Tobago. What would you like to see in your community? And this is things that we have been asking for the people of Trinidad and Tobago long time. A contractor pull up in front of your house, the water running so, you know, he build a box drain, the water running so. When they put a hump in front of your driveway, the hump about 12 inches high. And this was the conversation long time because nobody was coming to consult with the people. Nobody was coming to ask the Burgesses their opinion. Nobody was asking brothers and sisters how they feel. Do you have children? Do you have contractors in your zones? This is when you have poor representation. Last night, I saw it in Point 14. I tuned into Cedros. Saw Mr. Alexander. I've seen everybody having, and ladies and gentlemen, please, to Trinidad and Tobago, what the conversation we having and what we continue to endorse. But like you come to tell we nothing about Miss Kamala Prasad Bisesa again. That time gone. Don't come to explain nothing to me about Anand Ram Logan. That time gone. I don't need to know how you personally feel about Khadija Amin. That's not my business. You don't have to like Mr. Roger Alexander. He might be big and black. So am I. So that is not my business. My responsibility, ladies and gentlemen, is to encourage you to stay focused because what we are expecting as a people in this country is representation. And representation don't only come from the politician. It also comes from the contractor. It also comes from the people in the districts. So listen how it's trickling down now. The Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, they explain to us, they say, oh, it'll have a problem with crime. No problem. We'll have a problem with poor infrastructure, no problem. Employment, no problem. Lack of opportunities, no problem. Give us the opportunity and we will adjust the tide that you find yourself in. We would set sail to the relevant directions that you need to go. Brothers and sisters, we could sit down and argue that we want community centers. If our mindset is not prepared, it would not be utilized in an efficient way. This is why we're asking, let's stay focused. Let's understand what we're dealing with. Let's understand that we as a people have a responsibility to ourselves to participate in positive and relevant conversation. Yesterday, we find ourselves in a SO. Yes. And apparently, in some person's eyes, they're explaining to you that makes the government look weak. How about that makes you as a citizen understand that your government understand the position that Trinidad and Tobago actually was in? Let we do act like we can remember was between 18 to 27 murders a weekend. And when the people of Trinidad and Tobago cried out, the head of the National Security Council was the former Prime Minister, Mr. Rowley. The Minister of National Security. All you know the fella. Blessed man of many words, Mr. Fitzgerald. And when the Burgesses of Trinidad and Tobago cried out, listen, there's confusion with the Commissioner of Police. Look, these two people here checking manhood and manhood while people dying when the weekend reach. A Commissioner of Police who was the commissioner and was not continually chosen. Everybody who become Commissioner of Police is like attack after attack, and that was accepted under the former administration. And you know what come and happen? The public lost trust. They lost trust in the governing authority. They lost trust in the police. And Trinidad and Tobago, please don't make me pull back video where the Prime Minister of this country put the police on closing doors because they are afraid of the criminals. The Prime Minister spoke these things without evidence, while he himself factually know because the Minister of National Security at the time served under him. They know bulletproof vest was expired. They know they didn't have adequate cameras. They know that the judiciary system needed adjusting, and they left it that way. And the persons who continue to get caught up, hey, the businessman getting robbed, or look at sit down and talk ethnicity. The business, one Indian person, one Syrian person, or one African person, or one Chinese person being robbed is one too many. There is no conversation, no act. Listen, nobody could put me sit down and come up with an excuse to rob somebody's business. And this is what we saw. And while that had to be addressed, because when you listen to the voices on the ground, is lack of community service. So when I go up on the beach, because I listen people telling me CPEP functioning and my government corrupt, and I go up on the beach, I get to realize, wait, we have some patriots in this country. We have some people who watching what is going on, and hope is building itself back in this country. Because again, ladies and gentlemen, the fact that Mr. Trevor Lynch have people cutting grass on the beach, that is not the fact, you know. The fact that he himself evaluated, I don't know what went on. Because when the fella telling me he's getting double and more the money he working when he working CPEP. So we ain't taking nothing away from the CPEP structure. Somebody did the valuation. But I am saying today, if the contractors who have been waiting, if the persons, because 0.14 years, and I told earlier, it's Kenry's control. Them control the whole thing. And we have local contractors who have to continue sponsoring football teams, football programs. We expecting one of our local contractors to pick up the mantle and support Tornadoes. But how could we expect that when all the businesses driving past their doors? And we must be real and reasonable. I must fight for my local contractor. To start with my responsibilities to explain to you. If I had to come out at 0.14 and look for a work, no problem. So if an outside contractor had to pay me for my services because nobody in delivering what I come to deliver, no problem. So if I get the $100 from here and I get the $100 from a local contractor, when I go by the grocery, them don't want to care. Them don't care about if the local contractor is who gave this $100. They don't care if the outside contractor gave it this $100. So it's our responsibility to care where we get the $100 from. In our zones, in our districts. Again, I am taking nothing away and I'm thanking everybody for the service. But we find ourselves in a problem in Trinidad and Tobago. When I speak from 0.14, I'm speaking with facts. And I could tell you at one point in time, in over 90% of Trinidad and Tobago football team came from 0.14. So then how am I or you to encourage the local contractor to invest in football when the local contractor was publicly sidelined and those of us sitting in the public population, we said nothing about it? We're trying to tell me none of us ever work for Theo Richards? None of we never work Demas? None of us never work Hydrotech? None of us never work by CDAT? It have nobody that passed through by SK? Nobody passed through by Patrick Gordon. All these people I calling and more is local contractors. So as much as I lobbying for it, for done by me, I lobbying for it in all zones. The brothers and sisters in Penal need an opportunity to uplift Penal. They know what needs to be done in Penal. They know what needs to be done in Separia. So then why would you take a contractor from down in 0.14 to come up in Separia to build drains? It makes no sense. It makes no sense. So I asking and I begging and I pleading. If my local contractor, ladies and gentlemen, or listening from the outside, if you know in your zone that you're local, you don't have to like the person. You don't bound to like him. Nobody looking for no husband and looking for no wife. Is what is being done before our eyes. Because all I feel so thing because when I go down on the beach, I say, well, like this man was right. So my mind had to tick now, Irvin, well, how are you going back to have this conversation today for the people? Because I told Trinidad and Tobago, April 28th, when we go to the polls, we're voting against corruption. We're voting for transparency. And if by up to today, the United National Congress and the coalition is the most transparent government, but we would not get it right if the people of Trinidad and Tobago do not put our conversation in alignment. We must open up our mouth. We must say what we want to see happen. We can't sit back and continue to allow people like Marvin Gonzalez, who's an African, who's an Indian in this country, and you making statements about when you look at the board, you feel like you're in Bangladesh, and the nation quiet about that. That is unacceptable. And the fact that you play in a public role, that is disrespectful. And when you look left and you look right, you say, well, like, there ain't no hope, boy, because people meeting you, boy, see Pepe moving, this is moving, that is moving, all you see PNM tie up the country and shut down the country. Say, better hold your hand. Mr. John Jeremy's on the job, you don't get no harass. Miss Kamala Posad Bisesa is there. Barry Padaratin calling for day off, no time in a hurry. Because obviously when he take a little trip to spend a little time is a problem. They say he shut down the airport, he buy out the airline, he don't want the average man to travel. And when you ask for the data, Ambrose, what you going to do for me? You wouldn't really get an opportunity because here what we don't really endorse here. You could come here and you might try to argue your PNM politics, right? But I give you the opportunity. When it is I lying, like when it is I tell you right now that PNM is the worst government that have ever controlled this country. Rowley is the worst prime minister that was ever given an opportunity to represent this country. Listen facts, Ambrose. Ladies and gentlemen, let me discuss facts. We go get back down to what it is we're talking about, but let me discuss facts. The group that had the responsibility for breaking the murder rate is the PNM, Ambrose. Correct me when I started to go wrong. The person who cut the social programs and left the poor people to starve. You tell me when I start to lie. I needed to explain to me which political party was so skillful that they make millionaires turn beggars in this country. Come out and beg for US to provide a service so that they could continue bringing in goods to Trinidad and Tobago to serve the people. The PNM. The PNM. So when it is you hear me speaking, you don't come up and put these disrespectful statements when you can't even endorse your political party. Always embarrassment to African. Listen, I as an African speaking on the platform, you see over 400 people and billing. And this is where you come to put. So your conversation and your responsibility is you want all Africans to continue disliking East Indian people in this country. You want all Africans to continue believing that every other ethnicity in this country owe them something. You want all Africans to sit down and continue to live in poverty. And you as an African, you want all Africans to continue to not congratulate and not acknowledge that we have African persons in this country doing reasonably well. The only thing is that we cannot bring them to the forefront based on the structure Ambrose PNM put in place. Run up in the house. Run up in the house. So when you hear us having conversation, this is me bringing it down on a level. I tell you that I have full confidence in the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. I have full confidence in my Minister of Finance, full confidence in my Minister of Energy, my Minister of Agriculture. I have full confidence in my government. What I'm seeing is that my government is doing something and they are being transparent. So the contractors, the personnel in the community is showing hope. And they're not just talking that they're seeing hope. They're being a part of the hope. Obviously, Mr. Trevor Lynch see what's going on with CPEP. He hear what's going on with CPEP. He might know because the fact remains is, how foolish could you be as a minister to manipulate the CEO? Because this is the conversation. It will end up before the court. And my responsibility, I cannot hold down somebody who makes sure and set a structure to victimize the people of Trinidad and Tobago. So I will not be supporting Faris. I will not be supporting Stuart Young. I don't want to hear what Marvin Gonzalez had to say. Ms. Penelope Beckers has been drastically quiet since this conversation come up. So it seems to me like the whole group, they know that they're corrupt. They know this. They know that they have been moving with a corrupt entity. Matter of fact, one of their very own sisters, who I would not give the opportunity to play her audio here, sit down and cuss a next Rasta one who does pretend to be an African historian in this country. and listen them fight among themselves for logo while we sit down and listen for representation. So while Mr. Kamala Prasad Bissessar is out and about, Mr. John Jeremy is out and about, we have Mr. Clyde Ella representing Mr. Ernesto Raymond Keys and Miss Khadija Amin. Oh God, don't talk about his sister Jolene John. Let me keep it real. And the list goes on. Mr. Lakram Buru, David Lee, and the list goes on. Philip Edward Alexander. Oh God, don't talk about me, boy. The Douglas politics, Mr. Arnold Roberts. So we have a powerful team out and about that has been speaking since April 28th. And now you're seeing people coming out now and hire back the CPEP workers because, listen, let me be real, ass. This had to be investigated. It's $1.4 billion we're talking about. No government, you can't expect no government to say, well, all right, let me just take this paperwork here. All right, 1.4 billion and you rest it to the side here and you go back to business as usual. That is crazy because that is tax-paying money, brothers and sisters. It's just a house slave. Break down your house slave conversation to me. Because it seems to me like you was a house slave because, Ambrose, I didn't hear you speaking when the African investors came to Trinidad and Tobago to invest in the African community. Where were you? Ladies and gentlemen, let me go to work. Don't bother with Ambrose and them. Ambrose, you type up. Type up. Eventually, you might hit something on point. Somebody might pay a little attention. You type. Well, let me go get Ambrose a little play. Hopefully, Ambrose might come to terms. But Ambrose, listen what it is. You would sit down and you would discuss. You would listen and speak about it. Oh, God. Ambrose, I'm sorry for you. I'm sorry for you. The caller start to call now. Bless good afternoon, caller. Bless good afternoon, caller.
Bless, Brother Felix, and to all the listeners, and share the life. And to all the small little entrepreneurs and the cottages who have a little bakery in the kitchen.
Yes.
You can put a little $10 for Uncle Felix to talk it and advertise it on his show.
Yes, man.
And a little $5 to pay electricity bill. Small money to advertise. Yeah, so get who will make the fruit cake. Or start advertising.
Yes, man.
Right?
Yes. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that, brother.
So, Brother Felix, your phone.
No, that's
yeah, but anyway, so I want to tell the small business community, ones and them, or who does make the little home wine, right? The local wine and them.
Yes.
We can bottle it and come and advertise on Felix because the cottages all have an important part. That is US. And here we're going on. You see what Mr. Lynch is doing on the beach is a good thing because need to be advertised and to get people coming and when people going to his place or they can be selling it on the side of the road right on the beach to the people and them because it's a spin-off. Mr. Lynch is for his people, he's for country.
Yes.
And I to show you that CPEP workers, if they put themselves in place, it have still small contractors and people willing to absorb them.
Thank you.
But I feel like a man, I hear you talk about 200 a man there. That man, I want to ask him that how long he know that the mosquito creek point 14, it was billing and it's still here finished 10 years. That if he know that the LNG plant, right? They say that the upgrade and employ people from point 14. All the contractors and the PNM come from outside.
Thank you.
You talk about the old train truck main building, they're repurposing it so that the people at point 14 and Cedros, the Cacas and our surrounding areas of us to come to get the government ministry. How far are building finished, Brother Felix? Let me hear that one. Let me talk. The annual talking for Lynch to hear that the PNM was never about people.
Never.
Just imagine 10 years you have people working for $140 where they got in go to the grocery. They never micromanage the economy to put in place and tax waivers for the businessmen to bring food cheaper on the shelf. You never make foreign exchange available for the importers and the small businessmen. Just imagine the suitcase traders in point 14 that disappear. Brother Felix, when we talking about development and people oriented, Ms. Kamala Prasad says under the UNC, when they have a box rate of bill, you could be a registered contractor, so registered, and hire people to build boxes in your area. When the
Yes.
PNM come, they take away that program and give more big contractors with green and red truck. Just imagine if a lease company have all the oil well all between Ring Road and taking out the oil between them house and them. What that company is given back to Point 14. So you see, I want the students and them to know that when all the team the post and all the trying to say, we have a direction. Brother, I'm sending out to say for you. Uncle Felix, stay 2 minutes. I'll call back again.
Thank you much, Gola. I don't want to sidetrack something here. Ambrose told me something just now. They are not read it. He said, "Where I am," and it is ever so common because, ladies and gentlemen, while we dealing with these things, we fixing the problem as we going around. You are just a house slave. Look at Terry. Hey, look at my recommendation. Listen to me, right? You see these type of comments here? This is the type of comments that they just tell the average African person who don't entertain unnecessary racial conversation. Let me get Slimans here. Good afternoon. Blessed afternoon.
Yes, Brother Felix.
What going on, Papa?
Well, I did, boy. Well, you was flowing so perfect, I didn't even want to disturb you with a phone call.
Oh, gosh.
I had us to go with your flow.
Nah, but we in this together.
Yes, man. But something come to mind while it was flowing there, boy. It had this donkey-eye woman, what's she name, but Donna Cox. She watch these same people who they playing the fighting for now and tell them, boy, you're not poor and needy, or you're poor and greedy.
Poor and greedy.
And these are the people that going to now to fight for them, the poor and greedy people. When you watch out how greedy Alwari and all of them was, them and greedy.
No.
Them take all the contractor power wash, and I know a little library man, oh boy, I forget to big up my MP. I can't call without bigging up Mr. Enla.
Yes, man.
Elder, when I watched that man last night, you could see, he only playing, he ain't tired, but you could see, man, is a tired man. He had the budget conference last night.
Yeah.
And he sat there and listened to everybody right out to the end. I must get that man some kudos.
Oh, gosh.
Must get that man some kudos.
Yes, man.
But I just want to remind my, what I call them, CPEP people, that just a while ago, all they was poor and greedy. And nobody from the party pulled on a cox over the coals.
Yes.
Not Marvin Gonzalez, not Alwari. How will you know I could fight for poor people now? When I couldn't get them a food card because it was too greedy.
Thank you.
Man.
Thank you.
I will need somebody else to get obliged.
Thank you much, caller.
Okay, Brother Flex.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, that is so true. All the time, all was greedy. Now, all of a sudden, they're supporting all now they start to use words needy. My responsibility is to keep it real and reasonable with you. These same persons. Big brother. Hello?
Good afternoon, Mr. Felix.
Talk to me.
Yes, listening to the public enemy. They said the the people, the PNM, the evil, Amitel after them, Amira Dabble. So I take it in Chucky Face color and bird. He said it just government, the evil, the wicked and the victim, and they don't like poor people. And well, this government, PNM, this government is going to populate grass.
Yeah.
They don't like poor people. But that man was there for the last 9 years. He raised gas about 6 times and laugh at the people.
Laugh at the people, cut out regular gas, all kind of thing. When we could have saved $1.
I see a kid type and Johnny Sukram was in the meeting there last night.
Yeah.
They sort of kick down the door.
Pose.
But I was waiting for him to talk about like he didn't come on the stage and talk and I said, can I help peace? But when Miss Becker's thinking there, I started to feel sleepy. Right now, there are customers that I know. There are someone who want to against the woman, Jenny.
Yeah.
Velma cousin Jenny. Jenny cousin Velma. And tight pants one will call Eric like the portion of racial politics.
What's man? Let me tell you something. First, them head lick out. Right? This is just like with Mr. Traveling's doing down here. You know that people in the PNM go feel that somebody using Mr. Traveling's. That people go feel that Mr. Traveling's looking to go into... This is how people thinking, you know. Let me explain something here.
Yeah.
That same one, you know, call one of them name there.
Yeah.
PSA having a problem. We have people in Point 14 in PSA. 648 have a platform. Them days are on Facebook. Felix, what's going on? You can't get information from me, but you don't know this woman because you know the one who cussing back and forth there. Remember she talk, PSA talk. So they asked me to see if I could track down she to get some information. So they track down the woman. Call she, talk to she. Change them. When she started telling me how much thing I had to explain to people, I say, listen, you don't want the opportunity to come and talk to the people. It was really supposed to be a one-day program. Eh? After I do the interview.
Mr. Felix, I want to say, man?
Yeah, go ahead.
A big PNM, big player in the PNM, he get contract to build a set of housing, right?
Yeah.
Right why I say, right? I watch man now, and she's story building here. She fortnight now the man in me. I will come and go everywhere and go down and just say I said the cost and make a set of scene. You tell me what so all that money all I make for the last 9 years.
That is what go on.
You give me 3 fortnights. I work in night and day.
You understand?
I work man and I set a ties and this and that, and you play me again. I call you, tell me you call me back, and you ain't call me and give me my money. School got to put just I need to buy books and uniform and all them kind of things.
You gotta get that out of the way.
But them play that set of money, boy.
And the dance wrong.
I will come and call in the man that's radio station. I will come go all in everywhere and call up him, boy. And go down and just say, you want bad for my thing, boy. If you want to suffer workers, we suffer workers. You can't suffer me, because me take a sufferation in silence. I go out and speak up for my thing. I work in night and day, boy.
KFC, I like it too bad, KFC. All the KFC is trouble. But yeah, that's I was telling all you. I tracked down the woman, had the conversation with the woman because that people in Point 14 asked me to get the PSA information. Well, I set up a program for the woman, run the program commercial, advertising, make people start to follow she, all kind of thing. When the my computer come and collapse. That was the last day that lady never called me after that. The next time I see that lady, that same Rasta lady, the cussing in tongue for Young and Penelope now. The next time I see that lady, they sit down on Iowa George radio station, a Point Man radio station, disrespecting me. I said, but wait, now these people is mad people and trying to talk down on me. I said, but wait, when you ask them how much they pay, $0.00. You know what they sit down and laugh? They sit down and laugh and say they use me. The fact that my people needed the information, they say they use me. When I go up on the live now and I start to explain to them, I say, Miss, let me explain something to you. There is no way that you could use me because when people need information, just like how we talking here, if Mr. Trevor Lynch see it, now mind me, if it is Shell ride out at Trinidad and Tobago when the former administration was in office, Shell ride out of Trinidad and Tobago. We talking ExxonMobil ride out at Trinidad and Tobago. A lot of contractors were suppressed in Trinidad and Tobago. Today we're sitting with a new government. Where Shell back having conversation with Trinidad and Tobago. Exxon is back having conversation with Trinidad and Tobago. And with those conversations, you're seeing the local man rising up and wanting to be a part. Matter of fact, is a contributing factor. So this is why I bring it to you. Your responsibility is to encourage your local contractor. You have to push for him to get the jobs up by you, to work your children and to work you. And while he doing that, ladies and gentlemen, he will contribute to the community. This is why I'm asking for my local contractors. Bless good afternoon, caller.
Bless good afternoon, Mr. Felix.
Bless
you see, people don't understand the necessity of churning the money. You understand?
Yes.
The dollar does go right or wrong, you know,
Yes.
and come straight back to you, you know. If I spend $1
Yeah.
to let a man cut my yard and he take that dollar and he go to the grocery and the grocery go and buy more goods and it go to the other person and the other person pays the next man and the other man pays that $1 going right or wrong, you know.
Yes.
So you could imagine if you had $10.
Come on. Come on.
You understand? I break it down to the simplest form, right?
Hmm.
So my friend who using some kind of language on the chat there,
Yeah.
I realize that you are a real tolerant kind of person. And God bless you with that kind of wisdom. I won't accept that.
I ain't seen it. I'm looking for it, you know. I was talking just now. Because
Yeah, he had some abbreviations in it.
Watch me, I doesn't entertain that. They ain't coming over by me here with the PNM drunken Valley Jail syndrome and feel like entertaining conversation with them. I putting them in the front line. I giving them an opportunity. Express yourself. Come and tell we where we money gone. Explain to we where Pharisees. This is not a plain thing going on here. You go ahead, caller.
He make an appearance last night, but I doubt he could have said anything. they get according to the Prime Minister, they get PIP. You remember at that time he said that how people had PIP? But it looked like the whole PNM get PIP now. They could only talk about Interpol. You understand?
Yeah.
But they can't talk about what it is they do in this country. How they deal with the poor people.
Yes.
Now they want to represent poor people.
Now them can represent
these hypocrites on them.
No. That is unacceptable.
Them take away food card, scholarship,
yes,
children lives fund,
yes,
all them kind of thing. Well, education was by the way kind of something. Them take away everything. They even decrease the amount of money for gate and all this kind of
yes. Yes.
for people.
And they're so wicked. They didn't
You
even
take away four.
Call I know what happened in the midst of all of that. They didn't even have the principle to raise pension. You know, them wicked by. They could at least raise pension.
No, well, them don't care about old people. All them care about is the old folks and then come and dip the finger in for them.
That is it. That is it.
But them realize, they ain't realizing that the old folks and them going to die out soon. And have a new generation coming.
Yes.
You know, they write a speech for a young lady last night on the program, right?
Yeah.
And the young lady started to talk. I swear to God, she was at UNC, you know. Yeah, I thought she was at UNC, but which part she supposed to put UNC?
Yeah.
She said PNM. So I realized that somebody wrote the article for she to read.
Right.
Or, yeah, somebody write that for she. Because everything that she's saying, the PNM did the opposite. Right?
Yeah.
What they blaming the UNC for
listen this
is what the PNM did.
Listen to the statement where Scott
I'm listening to you.
Where Scott say here, the same thing you're talking about. Imagine people thief your money and you attacking the people who going after the thief. This is the position Trinidad is in right now. We attack.
Let me get a little.
Go ahead. You go ahead.
Let me get a little scenario. What happened there, right? When I saw what it was going on, I made a post one day on my Facebook page.
Mm-hmm.
I say, imagine that I open a little parlor. I hire somebody to run that parlor for me.
Mm-hmm.
When I come to ask them for the money and to show me what it is going with the parlor, them tell me I have nothing there. I can't get no money. Well, everybody started to get vexed and they want to know, well, what is going on with me and how come I could do something so stupid. I say it's not me. I was just trying to draw a parallel to what is going on in the country.
Yeah.
Right? We hire people, right, to run the country. We give them capital. We give them enough capital so that they could make a profit. When you ask them for the profit, them telling you it a hand none and you can't get nothing. You understand? We can't pay you because we don't have enough money to run the parlor.
Yeah.
That's what these people and them do us, you know.
Sense.
As workers, them tell we could only get 4% for 9 years.
Caller.
4% for 9 years you're talking about, you know. They may say 3 years, you know. It's 9 years. And they dismantle the whole negotiation process. You get negotiation for 5 years and 9 years and 6 years. I don't understand these people and them. I don't know which part these people and them tell themselves that they have the right to govern this country. And make it worse again. People see all of that going on.
Yeah.
And they still vote for these people and them, you know.
No, don't worry, we're fixing that, moving along. We're fixing that, moving along. We call the phone line hot, but it's easy. Call me back, call.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Re-education, that's all.
Yeah.
Re-education.
Yes, man. Already phone line blazing hot. Bless, good afternoon, caller. Caller, you have to call me back, your call drop. Only I want to play something for you, I'm taking something here today and I was very big. All right, let me take this one before we go. Bless, good afternoon, caller. Very big. Bless, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
How you doing, man?
Santa Flora here.
Santa Flora in the building. Bless afternoon to you, man.
Well, I stumbled on that PNM meeting yesterday and I listened one of the first man talking. Hear that man say, "Oh, it have a road up in North there. It's so bad." Where the MP from the UNC living right near in the same road and here fixing the road. I say, but this man don't have shame, boy. And 3 months they in office and they can't fix the road. I say, he said for that road to fix, he had to go and meet the MP and talk to the MP to get the road fixed.
Caller, nah, man. Don't do that. Them talking that.
I telling you, but listen, there's somebody, I don't know how to say any clip. Because in YouTube you can say, I don't think you can send any clip.
Yeah.
But if you get that, see that the first man was talking anything. Right? I was shame on these people, right? And very good program yesterday, man. I listened to your program yesterday. It was real nice.
Thank you much, caller. Thank you much for the support.
I want to know how that TV reached in the prison, right?
Well, I didn't know my one thing. I want to touch a little bit on that too because it's overall we dealing with.
I think they will be full of that small like a guardian paper and push it in the pocket and get it.
Caller, you know what it is? We had to look at that. You know what it is? We cannot just sidetrack. And before you go, I say I have to tell you this. But we can't sidetrack. In the former administration, right? When, for some strange reason, when you mention something, like we say like the TV in the prison, if you did talk that, the former administration under the impression that you talking about them. All you want them was to do was the work. And they couldn't come up with formulas to do the work. And like it's that what they was getting harassed with. But they could have asked the people to vote them out since the last time before. Because look at where we are now.
But I get some information from an ex-prison officer. And I don't know if I can talk that over the radio. If I cannot, they will stop me. That the man who in charge of the prison, when he need money, he take a prisoner from the cell and get him and to go and hold up that place for me. You know?
Nah, if it's that what's going on, this is what I'm telling you. This is where former Sergeant Alexander. No, if it's that what's going on.
If that wasn't true, you think a man could have a TV in his cell?
No, obviously the fact that the man have a TV in his cell, that was by madness.
Yeah. No part of the world you will hear that.
Yeah. That is craziness.
In the office, why all of them should be fired immediately. Get out of this.
The whole staff,
and deal with that. Yes.
Right?
All right.
Yeah, thank you much, scholar.
Good program, man. You use one of the best program around
Thank you.
now.
Thank you. Thank you much, scholar.
Yeah, man. Yeah, keep good.
Yes, same to you, man. And only before we divert and go into that piece of conversation there, I just want to close off this morning's conversation by saying, because I know, when things happen, we always quick to talk about the bad thing. We always quick to condemn somebody, and we always quick to say, hey, police thing, and you see how they're talking to people and them thing, but when good things happen, you just barely hear about it. So I don't want to move on the conversation without saying this to Mr. Trevor Lynch. To Mr. Trevor Lynch and his entire family, his staff, every single person. I, Irvin Felix in Point Fortin, on behalf of the whole of Point Fortin, is saying thank you very much for starting an initiative that we hope spread. Sir, you are a true patriot. You continue to show that you concern and you care about people, because I knew you ain't living by which paragraphs is. So we thank you very much and we understand that. Everybody mightn't understand it, but on behalf of the whole of Point Fortin, we say, by salute to Mr. Trevor Lynch, by salute. Thank you very much, sir. Trinidad and Tobago, anytime all happen to be in Point Fortin, if you're coming down Point this weekend and need you to pass through Clifton Hill Beach and need you to stop, you will see the I Love Clifton Hill sign. There's a business place right at the side there, which is the Neighborhood Grill. Just based on that, the fact that Mr. Trevor Lynch doubled the CPEP workers' pay and more, and need to let the pass there. If you just drink shandy, he had that. If you just drink beers, he had that. You want to have a birthday function, let us do that. Ladies and gentlemen, our responsibility is to support who's supporting. Support who's supporting. We can't just look at the man who out become Mr. Trevor Lynch, no politician, and he out in the open. The fact that watchman, when I went down there, I tell you all the workers and them, everybody, make sure and clarify for me that this ain't no CPEP initiative partners. Stand up and so now can't stand up. Here we go do. You won't see me, she don't know where that now. Set it up. But you understand what I'm saying? So to Mr. Trevor, and I know it are other contractors out there. I can't take nothing away from Mr. Tio. Mr. Tio don't hesitate. When it has something going on at 640 television, he does support. See, that does make sure, advice, support. I'm sending out love to all the rest of contractors. All. Throughout Trinidad and Tobago, and I'm sending out some love and endorsement to all the communities. Ladies and gentlemen, it takes us. The businessman, the businesswoman, the family man, the family woman, the stable-minded persons, if it is all of us continue and collectively show and act in a way that we want betterment for our country, we will get betterment for our country. My responsibility is not to watch, and your responsibility is not to watch when nobody have. Don't bother with them about Indian people acting and run up in their house. That is not your responsibility. God created you in his image and in his likeness, and what is for you could never be a next man's share. What God has for you cannot be in a next man's possession. What is yours is yours. So my responsibility, whether you're African, you're East Indian, you're Chinese, whether you're young or you're old, especially to our elders, because this does not be said enough. We're saying thank you all very much for your continuous service in all the sectors where you work, whether you was a gardener, whether you was a housewife, whether you was a farmer, whether you work in the industry, wherever you contributed, whether you used to iron for white folks back in the days, we're saying thank you very much. Trinidad and Tobago, we reached to the point where we must appreciate what we have, where we must show that we appreciate Trinidad and Tobago. We cannot continue moving forward. Watch me, a root was planted, a seed was sown, and the seed was sown, and the conversation is that unity can fluctuate. When you see people like Marvin Gonzalez and them explaining to you the East Indian man who getting his opportunity to come forward alongside the African man. This is what I am seeing in this government. All Marvin Gonzalez see is the East Indian man coming forward, the East Indian man and woman. Well, you know when I say man, I mean man and woman. All Marvin Gonzalez sees the East Indian man coming forward. What Marvin Gonzalez don't want is the African man to huddle up and have conversation of how we going forward, uplifting ourselves. If the African man just take a slice off of what it is I am saying. Just like the East Indian man, a businessman, we have that potential in our families if you ain't see it yet. Because some of us are so spiritually racial and so drugged with political dotishness that people can get us to have a comprehensive conversation about the police, all police ain't good. Because one political group stand up and disrespected the police service. And you know what's sad? The police service had to take it. The former prime minister put content out in Trinidad and Tobago that police hiding from criminals. Where he get that information from, the police didn't put it out. So then we're doing your alignment with the criminals then. So you reporting to Trinidad and Tobago with the criminals told you? That is what's going on? Because I look on all the police website, I never see none of them things. I on a chat group with it. Come on, I never see those things. And for you to put the, and this is the prime minister of the nation, this is the type of seeds that was sown. All they can't have nothing. Them Indian are all the business. Them are all the business. And when you say, how the Indian are all the business, I thought, let's say, Syrian, oh, yeah. The 1%ers and them are all the business. And if you ask them, well, wait, make up your mind. The Indian are all the business, or the Syrian and the 1%ers are all, who really are all the business? They tell you now that there is a lick African, there is a house nigger. Sorry for using the word YouTube. There is a slave. You go continue eating scraps off of the side of the table. Because you asked the question, who really was responsible for putting implementations in place in the African communities that the average African person do not sit back and believe that the rest of Trinidad and Tobago owe them something. Listen to the, even coming from jail, them don't care about we, them never give we nothing. Let's good afternoon.
Let's again, Brother Felix. And just before you close up the first, before you go to the next program, I would like to let's say two things on your conversation, because you see when I talk, I apologize to YouTube for the slip of the tongue,
yeah,
right? But YouTube, you apologize sincerely, yeah. So what I would like to add to your conversation, you know that a group of gentlemen called the scrap iron dealers,
yes,
just the other day, the PNM had them like a political football,
yeah,
kicking them like they have a World Cup plane up and down the field. What the African black brothers and them benefit from the conversation from the PNM, Paula Gopi School and others. According to them, she's the trade minister, was at the forefront for African brothers. So who is more a house made, and a true house made, right?
yes,
I will say is one who served the master in the house.
yes.
And when he reached back and he stood asleep in the barracks and asked him, what master doing? He said, master beating people. Master beating people. Always work harder, master beating people. Yeah. And the TSTT President General is one like that. Because here what's going on. When the TSTT workers and them was being treated like dogs,
yeah,
right? Now, that President General stand up and say, what? The UNC not for workers. And I would like to ask the one who volunteer and leave, is that was a shareholder at Cable Wireless? I had a conflict of interest in TSTT. And the next one, when they're talking about being a slave and serving in the master house. Is it that the same CPAP workers, and look at it, just only let's leave 3 months or leave office. How a CPAP worker have a little house, and you know that is the same in their finance minister said that the little 10 by 10 it worth $18,000 if you rent it out, and you have to pay $300 a month. How about that people, and I go to the next conversation.
Thank you much, brother. Only before we move on, I just want to touch on this here. What Clive said. Mr. Trevor Lynch was chairman of CPEP in 2016. We all knew who was in government in 2016. And he walked away from the position because of alleged interference from the minister, Franklin Khan. Enough respect to Mr. Trevor Lynch. When I see that day, I get emotional day with that one day when I see that day. Now, I wouldn't say something that is the first time I hear it, but to know that people know exactly what took place. So, we don't know what was the bacchanal. They never know, because if it is Mr. Trevor Lynch, find it fit, he could have utilized the opportunity and say, oh, come and make a day work now, oh, get only 140. And that is not what he did. And a matter of fact, I'm in the middle of a conversation, I don't even sure. But then too, I went up the road too. So if you do get to see it and all of that, I doubt he's supposed to get harassed. I doubt. Because, you know, them brothers and people don't really like the name call up and thing without authorization. But now, Mr. Trevor, you got to take this one. Again, I'm saying thank you very much, sir. And if it is this man could walk away, this is why I say not everybody sat down and accepted foolishness. What you comment earlier? Not everybody sat down and accepted foolishness. Listen what the man said. Trevor Lynch was chairman of CPEP in 2016. And he walked away. Cannot serve under poor representation, under interference. If you hire me to do a job, give me the opportunity to execute the task. Ladies and gentlemen, we move on. Again, you know, we're dealing with Trinidad and Tobago. We're dealing with the issues and the shortcomings of Trinidad and Tobago. And it is rather troubling to me. Listen to me. It is rather troubling to me. When I had to tune in, when my ministers and them had to be talking to me, and talking to me in a particular type of way, with concerning information, because my responsibility is to bring you the relevant information. So, brothers and sisters, I could come and tell you a man had a TV in the jail. I rather hear it from the horse's mouth, hear it from the minister, and what it is our governing authorities dealing with. You know, I respect my government for. They ain't ducking and hiding and zigzagging the conversation. They ain't acting like, well, boy, if it is we talk state of emergency, they will say we know what we're doing. Everybody know murders high, murders out of the window. Look, a lady now gets saved from being kidnapped the other day. Everybody know what's going on. This the other day we lost a nurse whose husband say some real mad thing taking place in this country. The same group of people who practicing them crime, the person who responsible for them divers being in the pipeline. We want them persons line up with them persons too. It's the same criminal activities took place. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll listen to Mr. Wayne Sturge. All bless good afternoon as well come up. I encourage you to share the live, share the support. If you haven't subscribed yet, I encourage you to subscribe. Again, it's your boy Irvin with Real Talk.
A certain prisoner, I won't call his name, a certain prisoner who had in his cell in the infamous building 13, which was reserved for the worst of the worst. He had in his cell a very large flat screen TV.
The defense minister said he understood the plight of prison officers as they face credible threats to their lives.
Usually when you confront the prisons about how things are going, they don't seem to bring anything into the prison. It's always drones dropping us in. So I don't know how they dropped in a 65-inch TV.
You listen to the conversation. Now to the prison service. This conversation this afternoon is no disrespect, but we must understand the position that we find ourselves in. The reason and the structure for the prison service is for those who break the law. Now, prison basically is the last form of hope to rehabilitate someone who practiced those activities. Big brother, blessed afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon, Mr. Felix.
Talk to me.
You know, building 13, right? I that party MSP, right?
Yeah.
I begging all them little person who are ranking thing. Or let's stay away from that place. You see that place where the minister talk about it?
Yeah.
They red dread, Mr. Felix.
Yeah.
There's two things. Whether you come out the street like a nail or you go back in jail.
Yeah.
But the minister saying it with a 60-inch TV in a cell.
Yeah. That fella's in the high up.
I doubt that, but that MSP all division, Mr. Felix, it's our TVs.
Yeah.
It's our TVs. When they come up for here, you know what I'm kind of thinking, they could go and sit down and
right and take in the
TV. They could take in a movie, you could watch something.
But nothing
but we know our big 16-inch. Yeah, but we know our big 6-inch TV went in that cell. That pick up the whole cell.
Well, that was said. And then after be one man in that cell.
Yeah, but I know the with that TV in that I want to call him my name. I'll show him out on that.
Yeah.
No comment. I'll go on.
That be, yeah, man. So, ladies and gentlemen, nice shoot there. At TV, and I must tell you, because at the end of the day, never come here to hide the people at one point in time when I was incarcerated. And the reality is, this is craziness. A 60-inch TV in a cell and the structure for prison. I wasn't incarcerated for criminal thing, eh? You know, ever so often, this is why I'm talking to my young men in Trinidad and Tobago. Not for the 2 and 3 girl. I never had 2 and 3 girl, but I have more than one children, more than one child with more than one woman. And you know, when you pick up a new woman, especially you might just happen to be lucky like me and make twins at the same time, it tend to bring out some venom now. So you went through the structure, and why telling you, a TV ended up in prison, cigarette ended up in prison, weed ended up in prison, something is wrong with that things that you could. We have bloggers out here who practice activities. If you tune in properly, there are bloggers who does practice activities who could tell you about how to get criminal things into prison. Right? And then we must hold on to the facts. Because look, somebody now put up now, everybody talking about the 2 TV, nobody ain't talking, everybody talking about the TV, but not talking about the 2 gun. Now I ain't get no comprehensive conversation about the 2 gun, so I can't afford that because I don't want to misguide people with the conversation. So if you have more information, please put it up as we move along, because it's only fair we be aware of what we're dealing with. Probably the prison service probably highlighted and I probably missed it. So we don't want to not speak about that, because a TV in a cell and a gun in a cell is madness. I go rather the TV. So the gun in the cell like more craziness. And ladies and gentlemen, it is our responsibility to be a part of addressing our nation. Now mind me. Bless, good afternoon, caller.
Yes, good afternoon. I have to call back in on account of this TV in the prison.
Yeah.
Because you must have data to use a television like that.
Yeah.
So somebody have to get this man on the hotspot on the jail, the official jail TV, and there had to be a prison officer.
Yeah.
That have to be a prison officer and have to be a ranking prison officer too, because you have to use these television needs data. You can't put in cable on your own in there.
No.
So you have to use the data from the prison.
Yes. Yes.
So I think they could track down that, you know. Somebody has to give this man data. So whoever given the data is the man who bring in the TV.
What you do there now, all you did there is you just can't finish it there for me before, because what happened is this is me heading to asking Trinidad and Tobago, allow our government the opportunity to investigate this and bring back the facts to us and deal with all who have to be dealt with.
Exactly.
Please.
We need need to do that, man, because it's easy. You cannot use that television without data.
Yeah.
So how you in the first place you bringing in that you already had to have the thing and money passing, and it had to be somebody above the rank of a private. Yeah. Above the rank of an ordinary person officer. Fellas with rank looking for money. Like if that money is not enough, brother, open my business and you spare time, make your money.
Yes.
Forget that. Or you putting the other officers in danger.
True. True.
Yeah, bro, Felix. You know, I don't stay long. I just always want another person to take the blame.
Yes, man. Thank you much. Thank you much, caller.
Okay, bro. Yeah, man.
Yeah. Now, this is where the conversation does get sticky. Because really and truly, in order for that television at that magnitude to end up in prison, somebody had to really bring it in the prison. Bless good afternoon, caller.
Hello?
Yeah, bless afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon, Mr. Felix. Sorry, going, sir.
I'm okay, and yourself?
Yeah, cool. Here now the topic is on there with the guys and with the TV and thing, right? And the weapon.
Yeah.
It does come from my minister.
Yeah, he said it.
Yeah, it does come from my minister with the gun and thing.
The gun too, the ministers confirm it.
Yeah. By Mr. Surge, it does come from.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because why saying that these fellas are getting this kind of nice life inside of the right? That's why they want to do crime out there, because they're going in there and not to pay for it. They can enjoy life the same like out there, so they make no difference.
No, and then
you understand?
Yeah,
that makes something DVD fellas different.
Spinning top and mud, that's what we're doing.
Yeah, that was going on because this fella, if you go tell me, I watched a video about 2 years ago with men drinking Hennessy and having barbecue going on inside the jail. I had the video. I must get that video and send it to you. Yeah, serious. I must get that video and send it to you. I'm telling you, serious. No joke, serious thing, Mr. Felix.
Man drinking Hennessy and barbecuing in jail. And the
barbecuing inside the jail.
And the medicine in St. John's Hospital. Getting wet down millions of dollars, sentence roof leaking. And this is the type of activities that we are going on in the prison service, man.
You understand?
I have the question now. So then what? Because just the other day we had an upswing with the former administration with murders with prison officers. What if them is prison officers who saw that and didn't like it and spoke? What kind of mad situation and position that we putting ourselves in, by? What kind of craziness is this?
Yeah. Huh?
Go ahead, caller.
Yeah. Mr. Felix, so this is what's showing here. What really going on here? This country, as I saying, these fellas doing things out there, knowing that there are no consequences to pay when they go in there, when they come like a next home for them.
Yeah.
Right? So after they don't kill you, run in your house, do what they do, they put them in a jail, they meet their partners in them in there and enjoy life until the case come up, they get a lawyer to defend them. You understand? If they come out, they get bail, If they get on, then life running normal for them. You understand?
Yeah.
Government has to deal with something that turn up this different and let them feel inside it. Bring back the cat and nine and these fellas, let them feel what is punishment. Let them feel what is punishment. You understand? They're not feeling what is punishment, so they're going to continue the lifestyle that they live in. Long time when you go in jail, these fellas are old time badges used to tell them when you go in jail. And then them fellas do wrong and they get cut and then them coming out, they're leaving themselves. They don't want to go back in there again.
Come on.
They don't want to go back in there.
You see?
You understand? But these fellas don't going, these fellas going out, they playing them with gun. Look at, just imagine inside the prison gun reach.
Yeah.
Inside the prison. When Martin, Scanny Martin, they get away from from prison tongue. Where you get a gun to come out of there?
Yeah.
Where you get a gun? So this thing going on a long time. This is not what this thing was going on a long time. Because nothing can just come in by itself, you know.
Yeah.
You understand? Every action have a reaction. And people must understand this.
True.
So we could talk from now until when, and we see about the problem and solve it head on. You understand? And show these fellas on them, hey, here we go on. We are in control. Whatever what the public say, what they say, we have to defend the citizen the Biden citizen want to live a good life. We have to abide by that and live and make them live a happy life.
Yes.
We can't make that. I listen to this minister. Yeah, what he said? The commissioner.
Yeah.
He said that the curfew, my people could go ahead and enjoy themselves. Everybody enjoy themselves. This is not for all you. This is for the criminals, and that's what I like him for.
Yes. If you
He's not inconveniencing the people. Yeah, the law abiding so he's not inconveniencing them, which is very good. Yeah. Right? He said this is the send a message for the criminals, not for the law abiding citizens.
Yeah, we come
which is very good. I applaud him for that.
Yes.
I applaud him for that.
Let them know
you
we
understand?
come
But a lot of people,
but
yes.
Yeah, but
you see, a lot of people ain't go like that.
You see how some of them family get by this is madness, yes. The family curling with the commissioner, you know. Like the commissioner told them train criminals, you know, them crazy.
But this man acting.
Yeah.
Look at how long certain commissioners were there. They wasn't doing nothing. One tell it to pray. Right?
Yeah.
Tell it pray. Nobody say God is great. Nobody say no. We're not saying God is great. God is great.
We didn't hire you to tell us to pray. Right? When we
right.
When we wanted to talk and pray, we were tuning in by 648 television with Felix. Felix was starting program with our prayer. We will go to church, we will go to temple, we will go to mosque, we will go in the house to pray. But when we hire you as a commissioner of police, it's to get to work.
It's to perform your duties as a commissioner and do what you're supposed to be, what you was put there to do. You understand?
Yes.
All right, Mr. Fidel, I'm going to take much of your time again. Thanks a lot.
Thank you much. Thank you much.
Have a blessed day. Yeah.
Yes, man. But he put up here, we need zero tolerance to crime and transparency to all institutions and heads. And that is so right, brothers and sisters, because when we look at it, and this is what I'm saying, you know, prison used to be to rehabilitate persons in it. Blessed afternoon, caller.
Blessed good evening, Mr. Felix.
Blessed afternoon.
You hear me?
How you doing? I hear you loud and clear.
Yeah, Mr. Felix. You know what does amaze me with people from Trinidad and Tobago? They just be surprised when they hear certain things. They just be like that, Mr. Felix, you've been outside here.
Yeah.
You know there's no small fry don't call shots on people.
No.
And you know there's sections in the prison that a normal prison guard can't go in.
True.
And when these simple, I don't know how they call them, these simple normal prison guards go into these places where they're not supposed to go, you know, inquire in.
Yeah.
That's when the shot doesn't get put on them.
Yes.
You think it's a normal prisoner will be in prison who maybe had 2 or 3 crime partners and do a little small robberies could call a shot on a man?
Now you have a kind of money to call a shot on a man.
But that's what I'm saying. So we acting surprised. We see so many videos in the past with people cooking in prison.
Yes.
People doing, they have the religious holiday, they had drums and all kind of thing in prison. We see all these videos.
Yes.
But nobody did nothing about it. Nobody didn't come out and say, listen, PNM, we don't want that. No. UNC trying to do something.
This is why we, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, had to come out and say, government, we want that. Mr. Sturge, we want that. Do your work. Mr. Alexander, do your work. We want Mr. Commissioner, do your work. This is why we had to publicly say it. We had to say it.
Yeah, and these would just confuse me. How come PNM don't get the same reaction that UNC gets? And PNM in power for the longest than any other political party, and they don't get the stick and the licks like what UNC just get. We have a runaway horse of crime for, we just say the tip past 10 years, right? From where it go to the highest murder rate.
Yeah.
And everyone expect changes to take place in a few months. The first thing you went.
Right, you right.
Yeah, all right. The first thing they have to do is gather evidence.
Thank you.
That'll go in all these places, prison, that'll go in the police station, see where it was and gather intelligence information.
Yeah.
Second thing they had to do, they had to get back the trust of the population, get back that trust.
Yes.
Third, they had to go in the communities and get back the trust in the communities, show them that here we here for them.
Yeah.
Four, they had to have a quicker response time. That when you call for emergency, you could be on time.
Yes.
Five, they had to have better communication in the police station. So when you do make a call, you don't want to hear you don't have a car.
Yes.
What you call? So who they? How much of them? You have people who train. It's a process, it's a step. And people stop acting surprised when you hear that big screen TV in the prison. That's been there for a long while.
That TV was going to change all kind of
I watched a video, Mr. Felix, like 3 years ago, and I'm on talking about some TV series he watching. I said, but I'm like here outside, how you know what is the same TV series I watching?
No, this is just a show where our people mind is, right? That people is comfortable going to prison, and you know who ended up being the statistic? The average common man and the businessman and woman, you know. Because the average common man getting robbing the road normal, they're just kicking you down and taking your cell phone now, you know. The meeting woman standing up waiting on taxi and grabbing the bag off the shoulder and pushing them down and kicking them and all kind of thing, man.
Yeah, how much old people get robbed at the pension? How much tourists getting robbed for the past? And I go in for the 10 years. How much tourists get robbed?
Yeah.
And we the citizens in Trinidad, we won't go. I never see a country shut down for PNM yet. Well, I saw a country shut down for UNC. And it's something that's have me thinking, wow. And people are still act surprised. All right, Mr. Felix,
thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yeah. Very important contribution, caller. Never see a country shut down for PNM yet. NAR lost the election, they hand over to the PNM. Well, this way, the board go ahead. Mr. Pandey, that is a very important contribution. Mr. Pandey lost the election. All the proceed and all the business. Ms. Kamala Prasad, the Cesar lost the election. All the go and handle all the business. And PNM always get the opportunity to walk in office and do what it is they had, thief where they had to thief or do what they had to do. Today we find ourselves in a position where now the prison service actually feeling a little more confident now because we're getting information. But you're trying to tell me that TV went in jail April 28th though? No, I don't think that TV went in jail April 28th. Based on the conversation that the United National Congress and the coalition have been having coming down to election, anybody who is a criminal element would know that if UNC win this election, all in problems. Because we campaigned on that. And it had people who was publicly supporting, publicly endorsing. Part of the major problem was crime. Crime, lack of employment, roads, and racialism. That was major parts of the problem. Thank you much. We just reached the 6 and come back down there, sorry, TK. But I'm thanking God for Jesus that brothers and sisters continuing to tune in, continuing to like and continuing to share Trinidad and Tobago. Trinidad is ours. Here every creed and race finds an equal place, and may God bless our nation. We have brothers and sisters playing games when it's time for us to sit down and have conversation about uplifting ourselves. People still tuning in to hear what Marvin and them had to say. Marvin have already showed us that he's blatantly racial. He cares about nobody. Obviously, the level of representation that he represented under the former administration, they put nothing in place for African people and nearly leave our East Indian brothers and sisters to die of thirst. This is what was done under the former administration. Brothers and sisters, we need to understand what happened. Don't let nobody come and tell you about nobody selling no dream. About Miss Kamala Rachel, who is the Attorney General, who appoint him? Who appoint him? Who appointed the Attorney General? The Attorney General didn't run for no seat. Who appointed him? Is Miss Kamala Prasad Bisesa. And let we don't act like Mr. Munilal and Mr. Pararat and these fellas and them. If you want to be in a racial category, which she could have practiced, Could I be Attorney General? Which is if somebody could have a conversation to tell me that Anaram Logan is not qualified enough to be Attorney General? He could. But Ms. Kamala Prasad Bisesa, despite all odds, that man, there's something that man see in the PNM, or they're not thinking, or they're not using all their head. There's some conversation that he had in the past. This is why they come out to tell me now that Mr. John Jeremy is a dunce. No, they didn't get pipe-borne water. And when Point Fortin do get water, semantics, when Point Fortin do get water, we had brothers and sisters in Cedros had to leave the AC on. How much of them burn their motor and all kind of thing, leave the AC on to catch water to wash the children clothes to go to school. Why telling you here is not no lie? That is the truth. And it is degrading and it is sad that we did brothers and this is people who, not criminals, you know. Semantics, let me explain something to you. We have doctors and things down on this side, you know. Contributing factor, farmers, fishermen, people who contributing to society, you know. Down on that side, and they may send water down there because down there predominantly Indian. See, just predominantly Indian people. So them don't drink water. When PNM in power, them don't drink water. Or you don't find it strange? You don't find it strange? How come Faizabad, Saparia, Central, Shogunas? And you know what's sad and disgraceful? Watch how much water people get in today. You telling me that the former administration had that capacity. I ain't saying it can better. There's always room for improvement. So all the conversation about the wells we have to drill, we supporting that. Where feel we stupid? Where feel we dotish? All the conversation that they spoke about, because obviously everybody in the midst wasn't corrupt. Those who represented, we wouldn't take away corruption from them. But in that former administration, nobody ain't gonna to believe all the planners was corrupt. So they had a conversation about drilling some wells. No, we will allow Mr. Pari Padarat and the United National Congress government, even my member of parliament, they will assess it and if it makes sense, because we know there's always room for improvement. But they literally victimize our East Indian brothers and sisters. And you know what's sad and disgraceful about it? Don't see just African too, you know. Don't see just African too. If you go penal in African day too. Go Central. With African day too. Bless good afternoon, caller.
Mr. Felix, good afternoon to you, sir.
Bless good afternoon, miss.
I'm a first-time caller to your program.
First-time caller, how you do, miss? Talk to us. And where you calling from?
I've been listening you. I'm calling from Central.
Central in the building, talk to us, Central.
I've been watching you before you went on a radio program. When you went on your radio program, I've been listening you there, and I've been watching you on YouTube as well. Your program now. But I've been listening you, giving some explanation, and I think some of your statements are inaccurate. For instance, you're talking about read out the dialogue.
What you wouldn't not mention the statement there because you said somebody's statement is inaccurate. So now you would start with mentioning the statement. Thank you. There we go.
You want me to mention what you were saying?
Yeah, because remember it's not me and you alone talking, there's other people listening.
Okay. No, the one that you was just referring to, you were dealing with the WASA issue, right? And you were saying, no, to me, I don't think it should be politicized. Let me tell you why. No, everybody supports whichever political party they want, right?
True.
And I don't think you, who I follow and listen for knowledge, I don't think you should be politicizing the issue with WASA. Now I could give you a good grounds why.
Yeah.
You are saying that it was a thing against the Indian people, which is south of the Caroni Bridge, come down all the way to Sapari and those areas. But I from Central and my area was suffer for water as well. Right? Under the People Partnership Government, we didn't get the flow water. Right. We get something. When the PNM came in, we get something. But when this government came, we get better. It started to flow better. And there are several factors why a community may not have proper flow water. Do you know Like, for instance, in some HGC residential area, there are people who are illegally connecting water, which is they pump directly to the line. And when that happens, let me say within a community, let me say half of the community doing that, right? You now will be suffering because when they could pull the water, you and others will not be getting. So what needs to happen is some of these development, you need to have the developers going in now and checking the sewer and the water system. Another thing too, then we go back in history. Each and every one of us pay taxes, so all of us suffering for water.
Right.
So it should not be my second grounds why it should not be a race thing is because let's go back to history. From time when government come, government go have been telling us the problem they're having with water.
Right.
Remember the desal cut?
Yeah.
You remember the desal cut? Remember the desal cut was a promise that we will have water for all,
Right.
and that was under Mr. Pandey time.
Right.
And then when Mr. Manning came in power, right, all of there was issue with the desal cut where they did not fulfill the promise to the citizen and the government. We had Pandey, Mr. Manning renew the contract. So sometimes we need to put the attachment on top, which is the WASA board. Yes.
This desal thing, you gotta tell me which part that is because down in Point 14 here we have a desal structure too. So tell us which part that desal structure took place. That Mr. Pandey didn't think and Mr. Manning did renew.
Well, from my understanding,
No,
I could go back.
Caller, this is where the problem does
check it,
start.
but from my understanding,
This channel
no,
here, hold on. Caller, let me educate you. Let me educate you something. This channel here and the program is named Real Talk. What it is I am going to tell you here is straight facts. Now, I'm using some way you don't tell me already. You just told us that basically the PNM was controlling. You told us that Pandey did promise something. You told us that Pandey lost election.
I didn't say promise.
Hold on. You tell me that PNM come back in and then look UNC now and all is starting to get more water. That is not what you explained earlier on?
I didn't say that. I said we got no, you're trying to mix up. I said I gave two examples. The first one I speak about was how the water was flowing.
Right. And how the water was flowing, you said?
I told you under Mr. Pandey time, in my community, we didn't have water.
Right.
Under PNM, because the area was developed with housing, we got something.
Right.
And then under the next PNM, we didn't get any. It was low, that this last PNM. But when this government came back in power, it started to flow better. That is what I said.
Well, right. That's basically why I say I just think it's a little shorter. So here what we're saying there right now, right? What we're saying there is that for the past 10 years, there was a structure in place and you still wasn't getting water. But for the past how much weeks, with this new government coming here, all you getting water. You go ahead, caller. You continue.
No. Water started to flow a little better.
Thank
That's
you.
what
Go
I
ahead.
said.
All right, go ahead. So then the way you're saying, and we agree with, because no wells in drill yet, nobody in went to parliament to add no money to drill no well or nothing yet. And then you're saying that your water started to flow a little better, so your water improved.
Honestly, it did.
All right, go ahead, caller.
Right. So I'm going back to my second point. You was asking me about the cut. What I'm saying, from a young person coming up, I have been involved in politics and I've been following this issue that we keep hearing about this water situation, the dumping, this and that, the dump, all these things I've been hearing. But I remember in history, the desal cut was commissioned under the Basti Pandey government, and we were promised effective flow of water for every community.
Talk to me.
Right. And I recollect that when election changed and Mr. Manning took over, there was a study that, yes.
You ain't bypassing because I like to pick out my thing while we talking. So you take
Go
a
ahead.
Pandey government after how much years, and you ask me to leave politics out of it. But to take a Pandey government after how much years to realize that we needed a water increase in Trinidad and Tobago. Go ahead, caller. You go ahead.
No, don't put thing in my mouth.
I'm just telling you now say that Mr. Pandey who got the deal.
Listen to me. The desal cut was commissioned. Do you know what the desal cut in Point Jesus?
Yes, I listen.
Okay. Which government was the desal cut commissioned under?
Right.
Wasn't the Basti Pandey led government?
Thank you.
Governor?
Yes.
Right. And we were promised, which is the citizen, of effective water system for the about 90% of the country would have been getting an effective supply. Right? Somewhere along the line, there was an issue. I can't point several, but there was an issue. Remember talking off my head there, right? We conversing. There was an issue. And when Mr. Manning government came into power, although that issue was there, they still renewed the contract. And the question I am asking, if there was an issue where the Salcota probably failed to materialize the promise to the past government, why then did that government continue the contract? We still did not have a proper supply of water.
Right.
So this water system have been recurring time and time again under different government. So what you are saying now, you are promising us now that with this PPP.
Let me explain something there, right? The water conversation, all the answers in the same conversation that you're talking.
Yeah.
We cannot talk the conversation and leave politics out of it, because at the end of the day, it's the representatives, who have the responsibility to implement these things. They cannot put in these things in a country without the governing authority.
So let me bring back in the politics, because we deal with the politics. Wasn't you, I'm not a PNM, but wasn't you blaming Marvin Gonzalez just now for the water issue?
Well, I'm not going to explain to you why I could comfortably blame Marvin Gonzalez and stay truthful and stay factual. This is what I'm doing.
Okay.
Right, so let me explain something to you. Right, you explain about the SAL. They explained that Mr. Pandey, now we keeping in mind Mr. Pandey is not the first Prime Minister in Trinidad and Tobago. We must remember that Mr. Pandey went through a journey. Now, Mr. Pandey has been lobbying concerning this desal. Now, we're talking history, we're talking facts. We ain't talking what we feel to talk. Right? So, Mr. Pandey get the opportunity to become the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. Actually, cut the deal for desal. Correct me if I'm going wrong. That is not what you now agree to. To how we agree that Mr. Pandey is who cut the deal, not so?
I wouldn't use the word cut the deal. He did not cut the deal.
He implemented.
The desal plant was commissioned under him.
Right, so he implemented. So it's safe to say that he organized within his budget to implement it. Let me just sugarcoat it. That is the facts. So that government found it fit, despite all who was government before. They didn't see no need to discuss it. They didn't realize Trinidad and Tobago needed an increase in water. Now, mind me, let me rest Mr. Pandey right there. You said going forward that only end up with a serious water shortage. Now, mind me, anybody could tell you after Mr. Pandey lost, who was the government? So then we had to hold who was the government respond. Now, mind me, caller, since that Pandey, we went back to Mr. Manning. Then we went to Ms. Kamala Persad-Bissessar. Now, this is something I had to explain to your caller, just in case that you did not know. When Ms. Kamala Persad-Bissessar took office the first time and she became the first female prime minister, the water distribution supply in Trinidad and Tobago was under 30%. While Ms. Kamala Persad-Bissessar was the first female prime minister, the water percentage of distribution reached up to over 70%. Now listen to me. Ms. Kamala, hold on. Let me give you facts now. Now, Ms. Kamala Persad-Bissessar, hold on, miss. Remember, it's facts we're talking. I'm not giving you my opinion. Hold on, I'm not giving you an opinion. I'm giving you facts. Now, while Ms. Kamala Persad-Bissessar had the point, Lisas, hold on, while they had up the road to deal with, you know what she did? She came down to Point 14 and they implemented a water plant again, which you talking about up by you. So that water plant had the responsibility of converting salt water into fresh water, which was also implemented, if you want, you could say, under UNC government, or if you want, you could say that Pandey was the person who saw it fit to increase the water supply, and then it took a next UNC government, or Ms. Kamala, if you want, you could separate it and say,
Mr. Felix, you are tying up, you are tying up what you are just explaining. The water supply, what I spoke about, that was one thing. We are dealing is two I draw to. The desal cut and the governance is different from the water supply. But you are
government pays for every single thing, Miss. The government pays.
All right, listen, give me a chance. I just hear you say with your own mouth that when the Kamala Persad, which is the People Partnership government, came into power, they produced they gave the nation 70% supply of
Over,
water,
not
right?
70, over. Go ahead.
Over. So, okay. So over 70 could be 70, between 70 and 80. Because over 70.
Thank you.
But if that was the position, right? Let's look. How come under the last government, now remember till I'm not a PNM, how come under the last government we saw WASA authorities and the ministers going into UNC area and commissioning water?
Hold on. That you see them questions there?
So that
you see them questions there?
You know
Them
what I
is the
said?
questions with the citizens continuing to ask because monies
because
they say was spent. Miss, listen to what I'm
So
saying.
you-
Since the
so
UNC,
Diablo.
all right, correct me if I'm going wrong here. Since the UNC
Diablo,
won
Mon
election,
Diablo. Wait.
All right, go
Let me answer this. UNC now come in power.
Yes.
Mon Diablo. Who area is that? Las Lomas. Who area is that?
Mm-hmm. Taparia,
Hmm?
what area is that?
No, I ain't talking about Sakaria.
No,
You said that Marvin Gonzalez did not do anything. But I saw on TV where Marvin Gonzalez went into UNC area as the minister with a team of WASA and they were commissioning. So when we come to the public, we must come with the truth.
Miss, hear what you're doing. Listen to what I'm telling you. While you're talking and listen, you
Yeah.
cannot tell people when they come to the public, come with the truth. While you trying to sugarcoat Marvin Gonzalez being a poor
I am
representative.
not trying to sugarcoat.
Hold
I am
on,
a
listen
UNC
what it
member,
is.
sir.
Listen where's the only facts.
I am a UNC.
Listen,
Let me tell you.
no,
let
listen
me
what we
tell
had to
you
hold on to
something.
this. Listen what we had to hold on to. We
You
have to hold
is
on
a
to the
UNC
facts.
activist.
The facts is that water was less than 30% capacity just the other day in Trinidad and Tobago. That is the facts. The facts is not one
is
well
not
have been
true.
dug. Not one well have been
That is
dug.
not true.
Miss.
Irvin don't come with that facts.
So,
Irvin,
miss, you working
bring
WhatsApp?
that facts and
You
show.
working WhatsApp because
Bring
WhatsApp
that
put out the
facts.
records, you know? And the sad thing with it,
Irvin,
WhatsApp put
bring
out the
that
records,
facts.
and WhatsApp actually put it at 17%.
Well, let me see it. Let me see it on Irvin.
Miss, it is
Irvin, I
your
love your program.
responsibility to get back to your government and ask them why one well is not dig, why all the same
Wait.
lines is in the ground, but yet still we receiving
Wait,
more
wait,
water.
wait.
You supposed to ask
When you
yourself
say,
that. They didn't add one
when you
line
say
up by
my
you.
government,
Nobody have read no budget.
hold on.
No procurement has been
Hold
passed
on.
to increase the water supply, but yet still the
Hold
water
on.
supply is
Hold
increased.
on.
Miss, you cannot catch me with
Hold
that, and I
on.
want to thank you for that way
Hold
you're telling
on.
me there. But
Hold
again,
on. You're sounding like you're on Iowa George Station now. Who
well,
your government
come
you mean?
on. I why that point, man? Is that point, man? What you doing, my man?
You sounding like no, you
Come on,
sounding
now,
like if
man.
you're on
Don't do me
Iowa George
that.
Station. When you mean your government, who is sending me to? What do you mean by that?
What I mean by what? We be talking about water or my government. What does that mean by that, miss? Obviously, a conversation. All right, if it is you want me to explain it to you, your conversation is explaining that you are a PNM. You cannot defend the PNM, but you're trying to justify your conversation on the platform, and it makes no sense. Bless good afternoon.
I'm not no PNM. I'm not no PNM. You was a PNM and you know come UNC.
You need to catch yourself, because if it is you would know that when I supported PNM was because my cousin got opportunity. Long before that, I was a UNC miss. You're fast and out of your place, so catch yourself when you come over here. Bless good afternoon, caller.
Hey, Felix.
What going on?
Why you have to discuss?
No, well, I had to get no. Watch me. I took her age into consideration, and I wanted her to understand that it have young people out here who know that they cannot continue to manipulate people. This lady is a PNMI. That is what she is. She don't care about young people. They don't care about African people. That is failure from the ground up. So she can come here and sugarcoat no conversation. I bet you if I keep you on a little longer, she would have started to explain to Trinidad and Tobago that the problem we having is because Indian people are business. That is exactly the structure that is used.
A little longer to convince you that she's a PNM.
That is what she is.
But Felix, I keep telling people, if you made a hog in mud and you let him go, if you made a hog in milk, you made a hog in milk and you let it go, you go back in mud.
Come on.
So I don't know what the woman is talking about, and she keep calling about water. There was a problem with water. I wasn't that 2 years ago.
Come on, man.
I went to one vacation. And there's a person, there's a water. My niece and I was born in getting water way almost
50-60% more down there was going on in the PNM.
No,
So maybe this area that the woman living in, maybe she don't have a pipe.
That's what going on with them.
She have a pipe until she had to go look for water by the neighbor. She know, but she don't get water.
9 out of 10, she got to TDG now, boy. And somebody change. She have to call in here to talk stupidness. That thing go work here.
You give she enough time to hang herself.
That's what I'm saying. You explain. Kola, you catch what going there? She boasts about Basil Pandey. Why you don't want to acknowledge the man contribution? You know? Boasting about the UNC. Why she don't want to acknowledge the contribution? You know?
You see, but the problem is the Felix. She talk about Basil Pandey in the water. Basil Pandey only get how many? 2 or 3 or how many? 4 or 5 years, whatever.
That's what going on.
And then he lose the election. PNM had 9+ years and they didn't improve nothing.
Come on,
man. I mean, this woman, stupid, man. This woman, you know, in my book, we call them Garaha, the donkeys. Stupid, man. God. I'm glad you educate me. I'm glad you educate me.
No, but that's the heights. Because
I said, just get home here watching the program, man. I'm enjoying it. We'll talk later.
Yes, man.
So
Thank you.
out.
Yes, man. Thank you much. Let's good afternoon, caller.
Felix.
I apologize. Go ahead.
Felix, you hear me?
Yeah. Loud and clear.
Let that woman know you have a wife with 2 girls and a boy. I don't talk.
Thank you much.
I don't talk.
Thank you much. Call to remind you call her mess. Because obviously what you're calling with is not facts. So you either call looking for friend or you're looking for partner. You can't have all the basic information in front of you. And then Big Brother talk to me. You hear it.
Good afternoon, Mr. Felix.
Talk to me.
That woman who we dialogue with, she's the root of the PNM. She know no PNM. I know she be calling past goal and program 91.9.
See?
She run from Lavanti.
Yeah.
And the very wrong name. The trend to describe having water.
Yes.
I think come to the film Marvin Gonzalez.
Yeah, see.
Is there something wrong with them evil African black people? Like to see black people down at the bottom of the ladder.
Oh God.
I make sure.
Yeah,
they make a contribution and some program that she called to tell him what she know why I live in and this and that and all them kind of thing in there. Mr. Felix, you are barely with them PNA plan, you know. But Mr. Felix, since in 1960, you didn't say water was for all?
Yes.
PNM around this country for the majority of the year, most of the resources and all them oil boom and them.
Yeah. Boom after boom.
Look, my partner heavy. He said when Basil Pandey come in power, he get water. He was toting water free all the years under the PNM.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, man?
Yes, man.
Yeah. I don't know, Mr. Felix, you're talking about use that PNM and this and that. Use that PNM, you drink your PNM juice and go and try to form back your evil, wicked party, now, man.
And is that. Thank you much, brother. Let's good afternoon, caller.
Good afternoon, Mr. Felix. How are you doing, brother? From Arima, second time.
Hello?
Hello?
Yes, I hear you.
Yeah. Going forward, I heard that conversation.
Caller, hang up and call me back because your real song and break up. While you're talking, your song and break up. Yeah.
All right, okay.
Bless good afternoon, caller. That person gone. And this is what we say, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if it is people that tell them. Blessed afternoon, I hear you.
Yes, good evening.
Yes, man. We hear you loud and clear.
Yes, man. Yes. Right.
Yes,
I have to call back, boy. I expect you to tell that woman to just Google. You telling her this facade business study and honorable lady met the water supply at 50% and took it to over 70%. She want to argue with that. Google, you have a phone in your hand if you don't know how to Google it. Ask somebody to read it. Because the facts are there.
It's right there.
It's right there. I don't know where she, but them get P&M education, you know. That's why they like that.
Yeah.
All of them that say they get P&M education, and that is why they are like that. P&M education, because the facts are there. Before you call the people program to talk, etc., tell me not. Just Google it and you will get the facts.
Yes.
As you say, the phone girl, she gets free to call in and disrupt the program and continuously saying, I am not a PNM,
Yeah.
I am not a PNM. That damn PNM girl, PNM to the core, you don't see people in the world.
Yes, man.
All right, no brother.
Thank you for your contribution.
Yeah, man.
Bless afternoon, caller.
Yes, good afternoon. Good afternoon, Mr. Felix.
Yes, man.
Calling from Arima.
Arima in the building. Arima, talk to us, man.
After that conversation with water supply.
Yes, man.
Let me say something to that woman. When Pandey won election, we went to one election in Pandey. We got water 24/7.
Uh-huh.
At one time, I wanted to sell my water tank and my water pump. But as soon as we won election again, I was so happy that I didn't sell the tank and the water tank, the water pump. So I started to get problem for water.
Problem for water.
I used to call in to get truck down water.
Yeah. Yeah.
Coming for the details of water at all. And I remember a while ago, second reason breaking down. He said he was in a racing pool in Port of Spain.
Yes.
I was a racing pool on that side of the building, anything. That's how long it was.
Yeah.
And this woman was there. She's from the Argentine. And what she said? She said, can't go to Pandem, like getting water now.
Yeah.
So somebody was in the pool there. And I said, you will vote. You know, she said, no, I don't think PNM still.
The voting PNM still. Wicked.
You see the mentality?
Yeah.
So that is that woman who was your person. That is exactly that woman who is I'm telling you, that is she's a PNM. Show me talking to some UNC. She's a PNM.
Now let me know UNC, man. Based on how they just talk, you don't know that.
As you're quite right, you said she should have taken Navin as school minister.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't know that it would have leaked the peace pressure. She didn't know that.
Uh-huh.
You understand?
Yeah.
So you got the word of people that said the show them, you know. So you have to school them.
For real.
You have to school them.
For real.
Don't let them get away with it. You have to school them.
No, I see how they get on, you know. I see what it is they do, you know. Pushing propaganda. I see what they do.
Everything is tracked. What you talking, it is there. The data is there.
It's there. Everything is right before your eyes. But some of them so they're racial and blind. And they noticing that they're keeping back the whole family while they continue to have these unnecessary conversations.
And upon that, she asked me to prove it. She asked me to prove it. Then you get there. Oh, it's ridiculous. It's people.
Martin.
Okay, but you take care.
Call thank you much.
All right, good.
And ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, again, before we go from here, it's a couple of minutes before. But I must remind you and I must clarify for you, right? The games that is playing in Trinidad and Tobago, it have to stop. Let me take this call here. This caller been called. Bless good afternoon, caller. How you do?
Bless good afternoon, Mr. Felix. Mr. Felix, all I have to say is well done. Done.
Thank you much.
Mr.
caller.
Felix, she calling and talking about the salt plant in Point Lisas. The salt plant was built to supply the Point Lisas industrial estate. And the reason why this PNM government wanted to close it down and calling it a waste of time was when they negotiated and all the industries started to leave, and it's from 100% of industries that going down to 47%. So now the companies are not there to pay for the water again.
Yes, man.
Because that's what the diesel cut was made for. Lady, I live in America and I know this. And you live in Trinidad.
For real.
That's the sad state of education, boy. All right, Mr. Felix.
Thank you much.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, family and friends, again, my responsibility again is facts we talking. So just in case this lady have a group of people and they huddle up and they still hearing the sound of my voice, my responsibility is to keep it truthful and factual for you. This is Real Talk, where we have real conversation. Blessed afternoon, caller.
Yes, brother. Blessed afternoon.
Blessed afternoon. Blessed afternoon.
Good show as usual.
Yes, man.
The last caller beat me dead. I've been calling to say what he just said there.
Yes, man.
And that's what reading is. You know, just read for reading's sake. You read to understand.
Understand what you read. For real.
You understand? So,
yes,
don't beat up. You know, you keep it going. You inform them as the ball. You put them in the place.
Yes,
line them up.
Yes, man.
And call them what it is. Right?
Yes, man.
PNM. The play like they're not PNM. All this PNM give.
Yeah.
It's song and the PNM just coming out there when you talk. You hearing it.
They hearing it.
Right?
Yes, man.
You hearing it out there. Right? And the next one is the Curry Marshall one.
Yeah.
I hear you saying the one stand your ground consultation in their areas and thing and whatever. You wait on that, brother. You don't rush the government. You wait, right? You don't tell them how to do what they're doing. Or they get vote out.
Thank you.
Right?
Yes.
Right. Blessing, brother. Everybody have a good weekend.
Yes, man. Same to you. Same to you, brother.
Right. Loving the house.
Yes, man. Loving the building. Blessed afternoon, caller. Bless. Good afternoon, caller.
Yes, Felix. This is Felix.
What going on? You're singing rather low. You're singing low.
All right, Bronx in the house.
Yes. How you doing? How you doing over there?
I'm good. Don't worry with that woman, you know. She ain't no PNM. She's a FCOP.
Yes. Yes.
I was listening to Kamala, after Kamala fired the woman, which I can't remember, Mary King.
Yes.
Like she told against Kamala. So she finding all kind of things. She call all them things up and she complaining. But believe me, she ain't no PNM. But she's a rejected POP. So don't get tired of that. All right?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you much. Thank you much for reaching out. Stay blessed. Ladies and gentlemen, before I come off of this show, I must explain to you the importance because we reach into a conversation when it comes to this water topic here. And what we're not doing is letting people leave without the factual information. So while I explain this here, I need to see while you're commenting, you're ending your comment with yellow. Either you're putting up the hand, you're putting up the clapping hand, you're putting up the yellow heart, blue or green. This is what we're dealing with. You had the anchor, Tobago had the anchor. Because basically our responsibility is to continue having factual conversations. So we can't have the data that Mr. Pandey did our installation. We can't have the data that Ms. Kamala Prasad Bisesa come and add on. We ain't taking away nothing from the PNM. Because in my conversation, I didn't even waste time to mention the PNM. I just explain if it is Mr. Pandey did this and Ms. Kamala Prasad Bisesa came back and do this, well then with basic common sense, if we hold on the facts, it seems to me like the United National Congress they find it more important that people get adequate water in Trinidad and Tobago. The next administration, like their own business, because if under Mr. Pandey, he come and bring the upliftment, the next leader is Ms. Kamala Prasad Bisesa. She come and bring the upliftment in Ms. Kamala Prasad Bisesa time is when the filtration plant in Point Fortin was installed. So why telling you, ladies and gentlemen, this is not a joke thing, and this is the facts. The facts is you could try to sugarcoat too much you want, miss you and your followers, you and your group, or you could try to sugarcoat too much all you want, but the facts is the facts. All it disrespected the East Indian communities. And all it didn't even keep into consideration that it even had African people in them communities. Because all it utilized the whole country as collateral damage. Who dead? Matter of fact, the former Prime Minister said it. Who live, and who dead. All they said it. All they said it. So we totally understand exactly what you're talking about. But we don't entertain foolishness. So we understand where you're coming from, that you're trying your best to make your party look good, but this ain't no party politics. We're not talking politics here. It's representation we're speaking here. So you don't get vexed when you hear Mr. Barry Padarat open up his mouth and speak. When you hear Mr. Barry Padarat or Irvin Felix explain to you that Mr. Marvin Gonzalez could have do a better job than that. He could have. Let me take back KFC one more time. KFC, how you do? Talk to me, brother.
Mr. Felix, I know you're wrapping up time there, but you know, manage screen and our WhatsApp number, my boy will try to call in there.
Yeah, 3240844, that number. Probably plenty calls coming in,
Yes,
but I have
you
to
try
get
to call in the
next week. For next week, I have to
But
get a next
Mr.
phone.
Felix, Mr. Felix,
Doctor,
thank God we have a program like this.
Yes, man.
We do TNTC, breaking down.
Yeah.
And my boy from foreign all day, Mr. Wall Street.
Don't leave
out. Bong them PNM lies and them, you know. We have to defend the government from them wicked evil PNM, you know. I be ensure all them radio station as more than now today.
Yeah.
Watching on a PNM, we don't make up, we pull out she mask, Mr. Felix.
That is what going on.
Tell them, we are going to bungle lies here. They're too evil and wicked and stick with themselves. Bless.
Yes, man. Thank you much. Right, well, I seen it comment. I see it commenting. Let me end it off yellow. Everything is finished. Close it off yellow. Because it's high time that we, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, and I'll be disrespectful in there, and you have to be one of the fully done student that Kamala. Who is this person having this level of conversation? Jerry Henry. Jerry Henry, how this going so? How this going so again? Henry, you had the opportunity to explain to the people of Trinidad and Tobago what it is we endorsing is wrong. You know? You could come to tell me when it is PNM implemented water and they raise the water production in Trinidad and Tobago. Or you could, if you bounce up Marvin, you could ask him how it is he add 5,000 gallons of water to Point 14, supplies $10 million, and on top of that, the waters decrease in Point 14. How could you say that you spend money to increase it and decrease the water? Them is the kind of question. So when instead of coming up here and targeting people who supporting the United National Congress, people who supporting the coalition, people who supporting TPP, instead of coming here and quarreling with us, you could go and ask Marvin Gonzalez. You don't have to come here to tell nobody here the stripping and the dotish. What we speaking here is facts. Just the other day, the former administration was in office and the water distribution supply was under 30%. That basic facts. You don't have to be in a political party to know that the facts. And I still put it at 30 because I know the world watching. But the information and the data was put out was 17%. Come on, man. It was 17%. So if this is the conversation where we at today, and again, I'm repeating this because we don't want to become complacent. Somebody had a conversation stating about drilling new wells. So I'm encouraging that conversation. I just want it to be done underneath my government. It must be done. Bless good afternoon, caller. Caller, we go look off at you. You go be the person.
Mr. Felix, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I want to tell you from my experience about this water situation. 2010 to 2015, where the People Partnership government was there. Before they came in, we catch our nen for water boy. So my husband has to run and buy another tank. That's free tank.
Yeah.
And sometimes most will get twice a week to get in water. Right?
Yeah.
When Mr. government coming on the 2010, you would not believe it. I complained to them because it was Christmas time and because we need water to clean and do what he's doing. And I see when Ganga Singh was in charge at the time. I block him in the street coming in. I see him talking to a man and 20 minutes telling me the situation. I said, they just put in a well by that was for me. And not something for water. He said, what? He said, call me. Call me. When I went home, the next day I called him and I get him on the phone, you know. They didn't say hi to me. They said, take your number. Call your number. If you leave a number, they call you back. And you would not believe this, Mr. Felix, and God knows I'm lying. You know, the next day we get water. And we started getting water 24/7. Yeah? For 10 years, that People Partnership government was there, we get the water 24/7. Only if after we pay a pipe, they will take the water to do some maintenance. You know, when the PNM came back in, they started giving back water twice a week again, boy. For what reason, I do not know.
Yeah.
Yes? And I am talking God's truth. And that's why I had to call and tell you today, boy. Well, God bless you. Have a good day.
Thank you much. Thank you much. Sherry Henry, let me tell you something there one time before I leave from here. Negro for sale. Let me explain something to you. Negro for sale. Let me break down Negro for sale for you. I had twin daughters. Now, hold on. I had twin daughters. My twin daughters went to Fanny Village Government School. Listen to me. You see things what it is sharing. Listen to me. things where it is not common in all your family is a normal thing in my family. My daughters happen to graduate the highest from Fanny Village Government School. They happen to go to school that the average person in Point Fortin does want the children to go, which is Vestini Secondary. We didn't know it was in that condition while we was wishing it. We didn't know it was in that condition while we was wishing. But we know Vestini does deliver. We know Vestini does deliver some high standard. And my children pass for Vestini Secondary School. Since my children entered Vestini Secondary School, they in Form 3, going in Form 4. Every week, listen what I'm telling you. They in Form 3, when school opened, they're going in Form 4. Every week, the school had to be dismissed at least 1 or 2 days because of inadequate water. Now, Henry, here what it is going on with you. You comfortable with your children begging. You comfortable waiting until when Rowley and all your representatives and them pack hampers for all you. Mind me, all they don't care how much all your children they sitting down and boasting about. They sleep with. All they don't care how much of them have bed in the office because this is their argument, Henry. This is their argument. That is what you want for my girl children. That is what you want for my girl children and them. I'm supposed to stand up and encourage my family. Stand up and encourage Trinidad and Tobago to endorse a political organization. 1, have no respect for African people. 2, the most blatant, racially motivated political organization in this hemisphere, not just Trinidad and Tobago. Trinidad and Tobago, when I see people like Henry and them, it's just drive past them. Drive past them. The African people in Trinidad and Tobago, the representation Henry and them giving you driving past them. That's why you're doing, you're driving past them. Them want you to continue not having water. They want you to continue living in poverty. But again, when they hear we say yellow is the code, it was dig down in the system. But brothers and sisters, before I leave here, 2 things I have to tell you. Remember, Monday to Friday, you're tuning into the Ground Report. Make sure you stay in tune over the weekend and everything with Douglas Politics. Remember, Breaking Dawn is always out and about, giving relevant information, giving the updates, and on top of that, Breaking Dawn does deal with the medical aspect. He does have the relevant interviews. While you at it, ladies and gentlemen, I want to encourage you, you're tuning in to Opinion Box. You're tuning in to Jason De Silva. You're tuning in to the young boy who got locked up. I didn't get his name properly yet. Again, we have Real Talk with Irvin Felix. Ladies and gentlemen, we are TC and Heavy in the afternoon. Brothers and sisters, I with Real Talk. And again, we continue to ask you all, let me pray for you and Allen. Let me pray for the Hunter Search and Rescue. Let me pray for all those the police officers, all our servicemen and our servicewomen. Let we lift up each and every sector in this country. Brothers and sisters, we have to be the change. We're not sitting down and waiting for change. We are the change. And it's our responsibility to let young people and them know too. Or they don't get tied up with the jacket and the thing. You know? Don't get tied up with them thing. Everybody we are seeing in jacket and thing come from our family. And they started from the ground. So don't get tied up with it. Don't let Cheryl and them come to 3 glitz and glamour because them could get 10 hamper when PNM in power and keep 9 and make you share 1. Over $13 billion borrow to feed people in Trinidad and Tobago, they say, for COVID-19. I want to let you pull a pen and a paper. What I did, I counted in TT dollars. I gave PNM the benefit of the doubt. I counted in TT dollars. You know what 13 billion TT dollars could I do? Sit down and count how much people in this country. Count who is adults in this country. $13 billion could have given every adult 2 hamper a month for 2 years. For the full 2 years. Sit down and count it. And mind me, it's 13 billion US dollars. So when I start to understand what it is the former administration did to us, boy, the suck we dry. So when our governing authority asks us to stand firm, we stand in with Ms. Kamala Prasad, BCS, and the administration. Again, before I leave off here, I stand in and I say, well, I can stand up. Full salute to Mr. Trevor Lynch and the initiative with the CPEP workers on the beach. Ladies and gentlemen, we just want to thank each and every one of you for viewing, for listening with us. This week has been a spectacular, blessed, and magnificent week. So as we continue to build, as we continue to grow, we ask you to share the information, share the page, share the content, brothers and sisters. And again, my responsibility is to remind you, if today is your birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday. If you happen to be celebrating your anniversary, whether it's a new car, your marriage, your house, whatever it is, we say happy anniversary, happy anniversary. And those of you who mourning family and loved ones due to unforeseen circumstances of violent crimes or because of negligence, due to those who had the responsibility to put the relevant implementations, we say we mourning with you today. Brothers and sisters, family and friends, we thank each and every one of you. Candice, Semantics, Gaza, oh God. But what's made it less full, Sammy? Oh God, the thing long, Kati, oh God, TJ, Gaza, we talking Ramki soon, West. We have, ladies and gentlemen, Caribbean, Fox Trading, blessed afternoon to you. Semantic 62. Who are they? Michael, blessed afternoon to you. As we come in, Clyde, blessed good afternoon. David, blessed afternoon. Williams, blessed afternoon. Swallow, blessed afternoon. Daniel, blessed afternoon to you. And as we come, Passad, blessed afternoon to you. Candice, blessed afternoon. Again, brothers and sisters, family and friends, we wouldn't be able to get everybody, but again, I thank each and every one of you. So whether you're down in Point 14, in Port of Spain, you're in Sawa, you're in Princeton, wherever you at, sending out some love. I must send out some love to Toronto. I have to send out some love to Grenada, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Barbados. Ladies and gentlemen, British Virgin Islands, St. Kitts and Nevis. Blessed good afternoon to each and every one of our viewers, our listeners. Blessed good afternoon to Canada. Blessed good afternoon to New York City, Brooklyn. Blessed afternoon, Manhattan, Long Island, Staten Island. Blessed good afternoon to my mother down there in Georgia. Talia, big up yourself. My stepfather, Ed, big up yourself. Love you, brother. To the baby, how you doing? Samantha, big up yourself. That's my sister. Ladies and gentlemen, family and friends are saying blessed good afternoon to you and your entire family. I continue to pray God covering over you, God covering over your initiative, over your business, over your going outs and your coming ins. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, family and friends, again is your boy Irvin, and I thank you very much for tuning, for listening with us. Until we meet again next week, love you, and I love you all. I'm out.